Am I the meanest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Pawn's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
Who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
I can't hear you.
Pawn's drunk. AKA Mr. Moo Woo Shot himself.
Of Harlem.
What up, dímelo, mi gente, que lo que? You already know this is Punch, Drunk, Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo Shine himself, a.k.a. el adobo, el sazón, el borracho, el pastor de boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, boxing just keeps on giving. We got the arguably number one heavyweight champion going to be performing this weekend versus Danny Dubois. Alexander Usyk versus Danny Dubois is still the undefeated two division champion, undisputed in the cruiserweight division, and now holds almost all the titles. Got one more title to go. Got all the titles. Got the IBF, WBA, WBO, lineal, IBO. No, not the lineal. I'm sorry, not the lineal. Tyson Fury got the lineal on the WBC. But hopefully we get that fight later on in the year. Got to see what Danny Dubois going to be doing. You know what I'm saying? If he's going to be an upset, I don't know. You know, Danny Dubois does pack a punch. He does pack a punch, but he got a soft chin too. So we don't know what's going to be the outcome of it. But of course, I'm predicting that Alexander Usyk is going to have a good night. But Alexander Usyk is also a guy that he fights to the level of his competition sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he got into the heavyweight division. You know, he didn't look all that awesome versus, I think it was, what Washington was it? He didn't in Chicago, the fight he had with Chicago. I forgot the guy that he fought. I think it was Washington. And he didn't look great versus Chisora. And I think a lot of people question Alexander Usyk after the Chisora fight because I feel like Chisora did, you know, was actually trying to bully him around and stuff like that. So they were like, damn, what's gonna happen when he fights the guys like Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, in which he beat. But he beat Anthony Joshua and stuff like that. I don't know if a lot of people feel like that was the same Anthony Joshua before the Andy Ruiz won. Maybe it was a shell of himself, but that's a hell of a win coming from the cruiserweight division. So Alexander Usyk, man, he's number 2 on my pound for pound list. So shout out to Alexander Usyk. Go watch the fight this weekend versus Danny Dubois. Danny Dubois, another young heavyweight that actually risk it. I would like to see a Danny Dubois versus Jared Anderson. You know what I'm saying, in the future. What's good, everybody in the chat? What's good, everybody in the chat? Smash the like button on your way in. Smash the like button on your way in. Oh, yeah, we're going to be talking about this. Yes. We've been hearing a lot about Terence Crawford, beautiful victory versus Errol. The tuna fish spins. Nah, let me stop playing. Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Of course, everybody's still talking about that that fight, that victory, that performance. He's going out there and you know what I'm saying, celebrating his fight. Parading all the podcasts, doing a lot of interviews. Bud Crawford became so talkative now. You know what I'm saying? Doing the things that he should have done early in his career. You know what I'm saying? Being transparent with the boxing fans, transparent with his fans, going everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Go to all the major traffic platforms. That's good. His team is doing a good job in you know, booking these interviews. You got, hey, yo, Bud Crawford, you got to come to Punch Drunk Boxing. If you ain't coming to Punch Drunk Boxing, you ain't going nowhere. You feel me? Bud Crawford, you have to go to Punch Drunk Boxing, okay? All right? Breakfast Club don't give a damn about no damn boxing, but you go to the Breakfast Club. The Pivot don't give a damn about the sport of boxing, but you go to the Pivot, come to Punch Drunk Boxing. Come to this community, the community that's been talking about your ass for 24/7. Come to these community. That's one thing. That's one thing these boxers are really just, you know what I'm saying? You know, like these boxers, they show, you know what I'm saying, when they get their victory, right? And they're going through their victory laps. These guys are going to a bunch of platforms that they don't give a damn about y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then they leave us hanging. You feel me? We the one that actually talk about these guys day in and day out. You know, 24/7 when they contractual to fight, when they don't have a contract to fight, when they disappear, when they're on vacation. We're the community that talk about these guys all day. But then they want to go to other communities. They want to go to the entertainment, the music, the hip hop community and stuff like that. They talk about rap and hip hop. Come to Punch Drunk Boxing. Come to these other high traffic you know what I'm saying? Boxing content creator channels, right? Y'all don't see that that's kind of effed up. Hey, yo, boxers. We don't want to be talking about your ass all day long. DJ Envy don't know nothing about you. Charlamagne the devil don't know nothing about your ass. I want to go out there, man. What Good Morning America. Good Morning America don't never talked about boxing. Come to us. Give us that type of traffic. Give us that type of traffic. Oh, we got an interview with Bud Crawford than everybody else, because when you're high, you're going to go to our channels and then bring us high to their level. You feel me? The Breakfast Club been asking boxers stupid. I know, right, Aldo? That's I'm going to tell you, these interviews with these boxers be the dumbest. These guys don't even know what weight they're at. They don't know who they fought. They don't know their resume. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. But these boxers go out there and show the man love on their high. On their low is us little YouTubers talking about your ass. Because if you would have lost, look, ain't nobody trying to interview Errol Spence right now. So who's talking about Errol Spence? Ain't nobody trying to interview Errol Spence. He's not in the Breakfast Club, the Pivot, the Athletes Foots, or whatever. Joe Buttons, Joe Rogan. Where's Errol Spence now? Errol Spence Mike Tyson ain't interviewing your ass. And guess who's talking about Errol Spence? The YTBC, the YouTube boxing community and stuff like that. See, we holding your name relevant. So when you're gonna come back from your vacation, you come talk to us. You feel me? Hey. What's good? Elvis con los 5 pesos de super chari para que ella comprar French fry con chicken wing. Teo has more to win than lose against Bud. Teo es la bestia. Teofimo Lopez, the commander-in-chief, the captain of the generation, the commander-in-chief. Teofimo Lopez, morally, 2 division undisputed. Goddamn it, yes, morally, yes. If it would have beaten Vasily Lomachenko and the WBC never would have stuck their nose into Legacy's business, you know what I'm saying? Everybody would have been, you know what I'm saying, undisputed. Instead of y'all trying to dispute the undisputed. If Josh Taylor didn't want to pay them, if he wanted to pay the fees, he would have kept all his belts, and that would have been an undisputed matchup. And Teofimo Lopez would have beat Josh Taylor, then he would have became undisputed. And then if it wasn't for the politics of the sport of boxing, Teofimo Lopez would have became a 2-division undisputed. It would have never been Bud Crawford first. Bud Crawford would have done it, but he would never been the first. And I know a lot of y'all don't stop. Teo didn't. Teo, shut the F up. You retarded mother effers. You know what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all trying to turn the blind eye. No, I ain't seen nothing. But then when they want to talk shit about belt federation, hey yo, they shouldn't strip Jermell Charlo. I know they shouldn't strip Jermell Charlo, because in my eyes, I'm still gonna see him as undisputed champion. I'm gonna see Tim Zhu. I keep it consistent, right? If he's an email champ, then he's an email champ. If Devin Haney, we call Devin Haney as email champ, Tim Zhu will be the email champ. The only difference is that Tim Zhu is going to be fighting for the belt. See, Devin Haney never fought for no belt. He just got a belt like that for Christmas. That's why we called him an email champ. And the reason why, because when he got stripped and put in champion of recess, he petitioned to get the belt back. That's why we called him the email champ. See, people forget. People forget why Devin Haney was called the email champ. It's not only because he was given the title, it was when he got stripped, when he got put in champion of recess, and the WBC mandated Javier Fortuna to fight Luke Campbell for the WBC world title. Devin Haney sent a petition to the WBC to give him his belt, a belt that he never won. That's why we called him the email champ, because he sent an email to Mauricio Sudamon to request for his belt back. You get it? But he beat the man in his backyard. Yes. We know that. I'm just giving the history of things, Jaime. I'm just giving the history of things because people seem to forget. I'm just giving you the history of things. He's the real champ now. Yes, he's the real champ. Of course, he's the real champ, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney. But we're talking about Teofimo Lopez, the risk taker, the commander in chief. The captain of the generation, the guy that risked it all, the guy that don't protect a L, a career that was never walking on eggshells. Teofimo Lopez is the leader of this generation. And if there's one guy, whether you like it or not, that you could count on, that got the balls, the testicular fortitude, the mental fortitude, it's Teofimo Lopez. Que no le tiene miedo a nadie. A nadie, mi gente. Bud Crawford, the 3-division world champion, 2-division undisputed. Great victory versus Errol Spence, who was regarded #1 welterweight of the world. Beat him from pillar to mother effing post. Coming off a great career, great momentum. Teofimo Lopez beating Josh Taylor, the undisputed, the king in 140, the lineal champion. Beat him in a way that you was like, damn, yo, I knew Teo had it in him. You know what I'm saying? I knew Teo was good. You know, I always said if he had his mind right, and he would be the better. Nah, you lost your faith on Teofimo Lopez. Not in Punch Drunk Boxing. I told y'all, if y'all was following Punch Drunk Boxing, y'all was here to Punch Drunk Boxing. The community, y'all would know that Teofimo Lopez, I said, ain't nothing in the outside's going to do nothing to Teofimo Lopez psyche or nothing. Teofimo Lopez, this is his home. This is when he's happy. In the ring, in camp, in training, working out. Bang, bang. Nah, your boy Teo, your boy Teo is done. Your boy Teo is finished. That's what y'all was saying. Now you're like that. I ain't never seen nobody humble the boxing world like Teofimo Lopez ever in my life. I ain't never seen nobody humble the boxing world like Teofimo Lopez. Everybody was eating crow. Everybody was eating crow, choking on crow, on the crow bones and shit like that. He said, Roland said, y'all Hispanics just tired of blacks beating y'all champions, hero. See, hey, ladies and gentlemen. So for the people out there in the community that always be there, that be like, hey, yo, Punch, you know what I'm saying? I heard you talk on this Latinos and black stuff. This is what I mean, folks. This is what I mean. We ain't talking about, when did we talk about race? Never. We talking about Teo, we talking about Bud. We talking about Teo accomplishment, we talking about Bud Crawford's accomplishment. Y viene este idiota, este maldito cocolo que hiera a pupú, viene diciendo que y'all Hispanics just tired of blacks beating y'all champions and stuff like that. Y'all Hispanics. Mira cómo lo hablan a nosotros. Ah, mira, maldito cocolo, maldito sucio viejo, bañate, maldito sucio. Get the fuck out of here, man, como Canelo habla, dijo también André. Ah. Este estúpido, este idiota, mira, cepíllate los dientes, maldito sucio, coño. Y'all Hispanics just tired of blacks beating. Y'all don't even want to talk about a good matchup. You think that this is Democrat or Republican or something like that? You think this is a black and Hispanic war? Man, esto tigre. Y'all the one that bring. I don't know what is it. What is it with guys like you? Huh? What is it? Huh? What is it with guys like you? You just can't leave race out of it. Everything is about race. Huh? If a yellow cap don't want to stop for your ass, you're going to be like, I know, the yellow cap don't want to stop for me because they're racist. Huh? Dime, sucio viejo. Dime, cocolo feo. Dime. ¿Qué te pasa a usted, eh? Huh? Nobody's talking about race. Y viene este idiota a hablar de race. Yeah, Hispanics just tired. Man, we don't give a fuck about the Hispanic. We give a fuck about booties and stuff like that. Mujeres, that's what we care about. Huh? That's why these Hispanics be taking all your motherfucking bitches. That's why. La gente está hablando mierda, sucio. Mal parido. Huh? Come on, man. We ain't the one getting smacked by a white dude. We ain't the one getting smacked up. Said 2023 motherfuckers still getting smacked by their masters. Habla ahora, maldito sucio. Habla ahora. We ain't the one getting smacked up. Dime, mi hermano. Fucking 2020 minutes, not 1823. You still getting smacked up by the white man. Shut the fuck up. In front of you, in front of wifey. Oh shit, in front of wifey. Hey, mira, what happened? Turn on the other cheek. He was acting, he was watching the milk commercials and shit like that back in the 90s. Turn the other cheek. He said, I brought the races. No. I brought the races out of you. I brought the race out. I have Teofimo Lopez and Bud Crawford. You come over here with your little race comment. Huh? Always trying to put somebody below you so you could be in the upper. Y'all Hispanics are tired of black. Who's talking about that shit? Who the hell is talking about? Whoever this makes the video of, this is how many Hispanics beat black fighters. Who even think like that? You think like that because you watch boxing as a race thing. Huh? You watch boxing as a race. Oh, look at this Hispanic fighter about to black. What the fuck are you talking about? Get the hell out of here, bro. Huh? And then you the guy with the attitude that when a black fighter lose, you be like, they cheated us. You know what I'm saying? And Mauricio Suleiman is a racist, and Gil and the WBA, they all racist. And but if y'all win, y'all, oh shit, we beat the Hispanic guys. We beat the, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something for real. Guys like Ronaldo. Rolling. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You are representing a trend that is very it's very unfortunate. Let me tell you something what's happening right now. You're starting a trend that, especially in this community, and let me keep it real, whether y'all want to agree or not, but we deal with all races here. You rolling, maldito sucio. You in this community and the race, the way that y'all move around, some of you guys, you have been the poster boy of racism now. Not even the white people. No. The blacks, like you, have become the poster boy of racism now. You're the racism. You are sending this message that now you're the racist group, huh? Because you don't leave race alone, my brother. You don't leave race alone. Just say that you're racist towards Latinos because nobody was even talking about that. Say that you're racist towards Latinos, and you're racist towards white, and you're racist to everything that's not that is not black. You hate everything that's not black. Because who was talking about that? Who was talking about Roberto Duran or Sugar Ray Leonard as Hispanic and black? Or Teofimo Lopez and Bud Crawford Hispanic? ¿Por qué tú vienes con esa mierda? ¿Ah? Jackie Hernandez, Christian Padilla. Yo, to be honest, the white people don't come to my channel and say, you know, Punch. You know what I'm saying? They don't show us white people love. Hispanics, hey, yo, Punch. They don't show Hispanics love. You know what I'm saying? Even when a black fighter is doing good, you want to throw shades at Hispanic fighters. Why? We haven't done. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something like this. There's a lot of great fighters from everywhere in the world, man. Look at the pound for pound list. Look at the pound for pound list. Look how good and how good boxing is right now. We got Bud Crawford, black. We got Naoya Inoue, Asian. We have Alexander Usyk, Eastern European. We have Teofimo Lopez, Hispanic. We have every kind. We have Russians. We even have Bavon on the pound for pound list. We have Hispanic and black like Shakur on the pound for pound list. Haney black on the pound for pound list. Mira, this is well rounded. Everybody get their love in boxing. Everybody get their love in boxing. Everybody get their chance to succeed. Everybody get to represent their peoples. Facts, Linda. Facts. When they can't talk about boxing, but they can't. They saw this match and they'd be like black and Hispanic. They didn't even watch it as Teo and Crawford, Duran and Leonard. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this epic battle, this epic matchup. Love you, Punch. But sometimes people will gravitate towards their own. You do as well. But I will say this: you call a duck no matter the color. Kev, man. No, I'm always gonna be. That's my culture. I'm gonna always big up my culture. But I'm never gonna put nobody down because of I'm never gonna put my culture up to knock somebody down. See, that's the problem. The problem is not that some people don't love their culture or represent their culture. Is the way that they represent their culture is by putting somebody down. You see, what he did is to put Hispanic down. It's not saying, hey, yo, I'm proud of my black fighters. We doing it and stuff like that. Black people, I love y'all and stuff like that. No, he's not saying it like that. He's saying that, ha, 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 you Hispanic can't be black. He's putting down Hispanics to uplift his race. And that's the problem. See, you know what I'm saying? How you say, a strong, and what you call it, confident person never needs to put somebody down to uplift themselves, or never need to put a whole race down to uplift their race. It's some, when you're doing that, there is some type of jealousy, envy, in it. That's weak-ish. You know what I'm saying? It's like when somebody be like, when you got preference, right? Some guys prefer Latinas, some guys prefer black girls, some guys prefer white girls, snow bunnies, whatever you want to call it, right? Huh? How many times you heard, hey, yo, I love all these chicks, but I love my black queens. That's a beautiful thing. See, you love everybody, but you in tune with your black queen. You feel me? But not saying that, hey, yo, this race chicks don't got nobody. They ain't like black girls, or they ain't like Latinas. These black girls ain't like Latinas, or these white. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. Dímelo, Omar, Nelly in the building, Aldo in the building. Dímelo, Sean Chong. Hispanic do the same though. Yeah, Sean Terrence, the Hispanic do the same, but ain't nobody was doing it here. That's the point, Sean. See, that's what I mean. Now you want to justify. Don't justify for this idiot. Nobody here, nobody in the chat prior to his comment was talking about anything of race. Nobody said anything about a Hispanic fighter versus a black fighter. So don't come over here and say, well, everybody does the same. Now you defeated the purpose right now, because nobody in the chat or this content had nothing to do with race. It had to do with Teo versus Bud, and trying to say this is today's Duran versus Crawford. Nobody said anything about no race. You know what I'm saying? And that's why before I used to be on this, the underlying type of hate. There's an underlying type of hate, or some underlying type of enviness, or some underlying type of, you know what I'm saying, jealousy or something. It's like almost like Puerto Rican and Dominicans, right? We get along, but we throw some shots at each other. You know what I'm saying? Go to a baseball game, go to Puerto Rico versus Dominican Republic. You're gonna say, we throw some shots at each other, but we love each other. Same thing with Hispanics and black. It's our community, black and Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? In the urban area, we throw shots at each other, but we always also have this camaraderie with each other. But there's some underlying, you know what I'm saying? There's some underlying dig. But anyway, June 20th, 1980. A date and a fight that is always going to be remembered. Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Roberto Duran had a couple of fights before going to the welterweight division, but of course he was still looked like a lightweight. And he had an L. He had an L before fighting Sugar Ray Leonard. He lost to De Jesus. Feel me? Kev Mac con los 50 pesos de Super Chari Parique a comprar gasolina de 93. Dijo, the title is kind of race bait. However, you earned this. Long past due. Kev Mac. Where's the race bait though? Look it out, Kev, but where? Let me see. You said the title. Hold on. How is is it race bait? A real? Come on, Kev. Come on, Kev. Where this title is kind of a race bait. Where's the race bait? Is it a race bait, y'all? Come on, Kev, man. Come on, come on. See, now it's like come on, Kev. Now you thinking too deep. Like, where is the race bait? The race, the title of the title of the live. Look, the best fight and the best. We live 6, the best fight and the best. That's the title on my story. Hold on. Teofimo Lopez versus Terence Crawford, a real dare to be great. Like, where's the race bait? Come on, come on. Ahora usted está sacando cosas de the clouds or something like that. Good looking out, Kev Mag. Good looking out, Kev Mag. But okay, Kev. You said my bad. Let's clarify. All right. Clarify. Because that's not fair. That's not fair, Kev. That's not fair. You know? Charles Edward Cheese, aka queso, in the building con los $100. Super Chari Party a comprar E85 jugo de maíz. Hey, yo, the E85. I never used that gasoline. But what's the E85 for? Huh? Yo uso 93. Tú sabes, yo uso 93. No regular over here. All right. But E85, you know, I always been confused with the E85. What is it? The E85 for? Oh, I mean the description. Ethanol. Okay. It's supposed to be more powerful, makes big power. Okay. So that's like what for the racing cars? Okay. Porque yo no tengo un carro así de race. I got the Dodge Durango SRT, but I never put 85 on it. Yeah, I like my Durango. That's my baby. I wish I could get the Hellcat, the Dodge Durango Hellcat. What about the TRX? Oh my god, I test drove the TRX. When was it? I think when it first came out, and they had it for 118,000. I said, you know, at first I didn't even know the price. I just said, oh shit, they making Hellcat for pickup trucks. I always wanted a pickup truck, right? And I test drove. I say, yo, this. And then they have the big screen, you know, like the Tesla. They have the big screen and stuff like that. That's it, 118. Hey, sorry, they meta de carro ahora me meta, sorry. Well, how much would you put down? Put down ¿qué, mi hermano? You know, I can afford that, my friend. They was like, you could trade in your Dodge Durango and put 15,000 down. I'm like, but the TRX is hot. Good looking out, Charles at the cheese. Gracias, Charles. Jaime Hernández, que lo 20 pesos. Gracias, Jaime. Guerra. This weekend, guerra con Danny Dubois y Alexandro Usyk. Pero guerra de Teofimo Lopez en Bo Crawford, que vamos a hablar de esa vaina. Race cars. So it's good for me to put E85 on the Dodge Durango SRT, or is that or y'all took you took the engines like the or you mean like the E85 is like engine for the Lamborghinis and stuff like that? You know, I still haven't got into the Tesla stuff. Like, yo, you think you want to buy electric? I don't know, man. It's something about gas. I don't know, man. I'm not ready for Tesla. I don't know. I don't like how I look in the outside, to be honest. And yeah, it's all good in the inside, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a Tesla type of guy yet. Y'all like the Tesla? Yes, bad for MPG. Have to flow sometimes 3 times as much fuel. T.O. beats Thurman. Yeah, hell yeah. Punch, who wins fantasy matchup between T.O. and Manny Pacquiao? That'd be tough, man. That'd be tough because sometimes when I want to use the triangle theory, like if they all come 100%, I think you will have to give the nod to Manny Pacquiao. You will have to give the nod to Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about Teofimo Lopez counterpunching, you know what I'm saying? He could get Manny Pacquiao like Marquez did. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I think that for now, Manny Pacquiao with his footwork and both athletic, and I'm saying like this: Marquez is not athletic like Tio. It will be a terrific. I think the favorite will be Manny Pacquiao, but I think that Teofimo Lopez could also capitalize. Teofimo Lopez in his A plus game and Manny Pacquiao A plus game. You gotta give the nod to Manny Pacquiao, but that doesn't mean that Teofimo Lopez don't have a chance to get Manny Pacquiao as well. Good looking out, Hyman. Good looking out, Charles of the Cheese. Good looking now. Good looking now. Good looking out, Elvis. Good looking out, Elvis. I appreciate that, my brother. Tesla aren't reliable, Elvis said. Jackie said, I don't know anything about cars and shit like that. I tell my man to drive me everywhere I want to go. Y un caballo, Jackie. You want a horse? Horse is very, very good too. And you can make money off of it and stuff like that. Forget about cars, man. I want to buy a cow. How much money can you make buying a cow? I want to buy like 3 cows, yo. You know what I'm saying? But where the hell I'm gonna hold the cows? How much can you make off gallon of milk and stuff on meat? Like that's bad. Like, yo, I want to buy a cow so I could kill it and then make some money. But I know them farmers, if you got like 8 cows, that's good money, right? Didn't Ronda Rousey have like a cow and then it died and then she stuffed a year worth of meat? She has like a year worth of meat off her cow that died. Imagine 1 cow, a year worth of meat. Diablo. I don't know if she sold it. I'm a Tahoe kind of guy. You know, I like the Tahoes. I like the Tahoes, to be honest. I did like before I bought the SRT, I was thinking about buying that the Tahoe. I do like the Tahoe. I don't know something about the Tahoe. Early up on 140. I'm going with T.O. Easy work. Oh, Charles got Teofimo Lopez to be Manny Pacquiao. 147 Pac-Man was brutalizing people. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. That's a fact. On the Tesla for 5 years, I only had to change the 12V battery, 45K miles. So Charles, you like the Tesla? I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm the Tesla. It's that car looks so simple. You look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I hate how the Subarus be looking like, but they like more mile efficient and stuff like that. If you're really traveling to work and blah blah. But I couldn't see me in the Subaru, whatever that shit is. Tahoe is gangster punch. I like Tahoes. I like it. If I want to do some, if I want to cab it out here in New York, you know. I could use it a cab and stuff like that. Yo soy Honda Punch, reliable cars. Tú tienes que ser dominicano. The Dominicans love Hondas. Honda Accord. Yeah, they soup it up. They soup it up. Honda's Accord. Pero vamos a hablar ya. This is not a car, Chano, okay? This is boxing. But in New York, Tesla is tough because it gets cold, reduces range, and not enough public charging. Further, most don't have garages to install at home charging. You know what though? Charles, around my area in New York, you know what I'm saying, born and raised, and there's a lot of ways that you could charge it now. And a lot of garages got the charge. A lot of garages got the charge now. In Midtown too. You know what I'm saying? But not every gas station does have the the electric stuff, but they putting it though. They putting it. But I've seen a lot of garages already, especially in Midtown. If I parked in Midtown, I've seen a lot of garages got that now. He said, "Los Toyotas, papi." Let me get a TRX pickup truck. If I ever get a TRX, that's like the ain't even see me, not even a sports, not like Lamborghini, none of that. A TRX Hellcat. I'll get a TRX Hellcat. That's like, I'm like very like simple. Like my dream car was always the Dodge Durango. The Dodge Durango. To be honest, when I was young, I wanted the Dodge Durango. Simple. My dream was never, and I got a Dodge Durango. You know what I'm saying? Harley, a Harley Davidson, Dyna. I wanted a Harley Davidson Dyna. I got a Harley Davidson. I don't ride as much, but you know what I'm saying? I like the Harley Davidson Dyna, but now is the low rider. So I like my low rider. You know what I'm saying? Don't get a lot of chance to now. I'm riding a little bit more than I used to, but having the core souped up with a suspension and hybrid turbo, pushing 425 miles. Christian Honda. Preach a punch. About time people start speaking the truth. Big fan, brother of the truth. Well said, man. Good looking out, Ish. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate that. Okay, vamos a hablar de boxeo. Now, of course, Terence Crawford did an interview with Joe Rogan, and of course he stated that he would like to fight. And we've been talking about this for the two previous lives. We're talking about that Bud Crawford, and I'm really not into that. Like the Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. I think 3 divisions going up. I think there's a lot of people in between, in which I don't think that probably Bud Crawford could beat them. So why would I think that Bud Crawford could jump 3 division, I'm sorry, to face the guy, the man, Canelo Alvarez, aka King Nelo, aka Caratelo, aka Cash Nelo, aka Payday, aka get the fuck out of here, man. Nah, that's too much. If a lot of people feel like Jamel Charlo coming from 2 division up is too much, why wouldn't they think that Bud Crawford? I understand a lot of people's living in the moment. They're living in the moment right now. I understand it. Charles of the Tree said, I've owned almost all of them, including $1 million hypercars, 458 Specical or Parte, hands down, the best vehicle ever made. Diablo, pero Charles of the Cheese, the most I've been writing about is el Durango que yo tengo, el Camaro que se chocó, y the MTA, the bus, and the train, the D train, the A train, the 1 train, the 2 train, the express train, the local train. Eso es lo que, ya diablo, Charles de Chino, no le hagan así a nosotros, que somos pobres aquí. With Novatech exhaust, close second modded, 997. Mira, mi hermano, hey, yo, Charles of the Cheese. That right there, you speaking like foreign language to me, man. I like cars, but yo no sé tanto de eso, mi hermano. How much you want to? Hey, yo, Charles at the Cheese. Hey, Charles, how much you want to bet? Put me in New York City. I'm in the rush hour. I'm gonna leave you in the 181st. We're gonna race, right? We're gonna race. Give me the fastest car that you have. I'm gonna leave you at 181st, and whoever gets to Times Square first, and I'm gonna take the A train. Let me see who's faster. Give me the fastest car you got. I'm gonna leave you in 181st in Manhattan and Broadway, and I'm gonna take the A train. The fastest car you got is gonna be 4 p.m. and I want to know who gonna get there first. Who wanna bet? Who gonna bet? And if I beat him, I get the car. If he beats me, he gets my Metro card. How much you want to bet? My A train will beat the fastest car 4 p.m. How much you want to bet I win? And yo, we should do that recorded. Let's go. Matter of fact, let me the other way around. From 42nd Street to 181st and Broadway. Let's do that race. For 42nd Street, Charles of the Cheese is going to bring the fastest car that he ever written. And I'm going to take my A train, my Metro card, my A train. We're going to race. We're going to race from 42nd to 181st. Whoever get there first. Who wins? Who wins? 4 p.m. rush hour. Who wins? He tells on the cheese who'll be the West Side Highway and like that, and people looking at him like, we're not going anywhere. Don't you hate when don't you hate when motherfuckers be in the red light and they be like, shut the fuck up, fucking show off. You ain't going nowhere. Hey yo, what about when your fucking cars be like going man speed and the red light is right there and he cuts you off, cut this guy off, and then y'all stop right in the same. He's in the other lane and you're like, pa todo eso tú hiciste esa vaina. Almost gonna make me crash. Y pa todo eso, pa estar ahí al lado de mí. Yo, I be hating that, bro. I be hating that. El otro día yo estaba así con mi motorcycle in the third lane. Y viene este carro. Here comes this car. He cuts this guy. He's coming all the way from the first lane to the third lane. And I'm here all conservative. I ain't trying to go fast. I'm here doing a good 65. Déjame quieto. Yo estoy bien. Boom. First he goes boom, boom. Then he goes behind me. Flashes the light. Now y'all know New York City. It's not like every other state. It's 50 miles per hour in Deegan. 50. I'm already going 65. This guy's flashing the light, so for me to go faster. Pa que me den a mí un ticket, estúpido. And you know they flash the light. I'm like this, like, and you know when you stubborn, you know somebody when you really stubborn and they flashing the light and you like, this motherfucker gonna make me move. This motherfucker not gonna make me move. You better switch the motherfucking lane. I'm riding 65 on 50 and he's flashing the light so I could switch lane. No, tú es que te vas a mover. Tú es que te vas a mover, mi hermano. This guy goes, switch the second lane, switch the first lane, boom, and then I'm riding. Hey, yo, this guy passes. Now there's the first 2 lanes are stuck because they're doing construction work. Hey, yo, all the way, like I tell you, like 2 miles or a mile and a half. Once now we all slow down and go into this lane. This guy's in back of me, and I'm saying in my mind, you did all that trico too, all that room, bugging people, switch lane, so you can be in top of me, and I'm like this. Que idiota estúpido, todo eso para nada. Nah, there's some good rules upstate. Beach it to Westchester. No, I see mi mito from 181st to Westchester to me gana me. All right, no, all right. Let's do it from Yankee Stadium then. From Yankee Stadium, and I get the Metro North. All right, Charles at the Cheese. All right, we start at 5:30 p.m. From Yankee Stadium to Westchester. I get the Metro North. How about that? I get the Metro North. When the Yankee Stadium, and I'm gonna beat you to Westchester, which a souped up car. 5:30, we meet in Yankee Stadium. It's all right. You're my brother. Let's go back to boxing. All right. So that's fun talk. All right. So people was talking about like, hey, yo, man. I'm not a fan of Bud Crawford going to fight Canelo Alvarez because I feel like there's a lot of fighters that Bud Crawford could lose to. I believe that he could lose to Jamel Charlo on 154. We got to see what Jamel Charlo going to be doing in September 30 with Canelo Alvarez. I don't think that Bud Crawford could beat Demetrius Andre in 168. I don't think that Canelo Alvarez. I'm sorry. I don't think that Bud Crawford could beat Demetrius Andre. I don't think that Bud Crawford could beat David Benavidez. I don't think that Bud Crawford could even beat Jamel Charlo in middleweight division. I don't think so. So why would I even be like, yo, Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez 3 divisions up? But I know what's more realistic is Teofimo versus Bud Crawford. And Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford is today's Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford is today's Roberto Duran and versus Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm gonna quitar esto, espera. Let me take this off. Who disagree? Who don't see this? Let me see what a poll at. For what's a better fight? Bud versus Canelo, 49%. Teofimo Lopez versus Bud is 55%. So right now, Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford, 55% is leading the way as a better fight than Bud versus Canelo. Everybody smash the like button. 42, come on, 42. We got 42. We got 60 people looking on. We're supposed to at least have 60 people. Come on, let's go to 100. This is a good content, good subject. I see people talking a lot of whack ass shit in YouTube, and they get their support, and y'all don't support your boy Mr. Moonshine. Come on, man. What's this? 42 likes. What is that? Because we're talking about 42nd Street. Keep on voting. 117 people voted. Bud versus Canelo, 45%. Teo versus Bud, 55%. Now, I think that this is more realistic fight. This is definitely more realistic fight. Teofimo Lopez, and look, just like Roberto Duran, like I said earlier, just like Roberto Duran lost to De Jesus, he had 1 L on his record. And of course, these guys had a lot of fights, a lot of professional fights and stuff like that, limited from amateur bouts, but they had a lot of professional fights. Roberto Duran was already regarded the best lightweight, and arguably one of the best lightweight ever. You know what I'm saying? Him, Belly Leonard, but Teofimo Lopez has marked himself as probably the best lightweight of this generation. When he beat Vasily Lomachenko, when he was regarded pound for pound number 1, not only the best lightweight, but he was regarded as pound for pound number 1, arguably number 1 in the sport of boxing. Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily Lomachenko, handcuffed him for the first 7 rounds, beat him to like he was levels above Lomachenko. And then he went to the 140, and a lot of people want to critique that Bud Crawford 140 run was kind of weak. Now, Teofimo Lopez beat the best 140, the guy that was regarded the best. That's like if somebody beat Bud Crawford at 140. How would you regard him? If Felix Diaz would have beaten Bud Crawford at 140, how would you look at Felix Diaz? Matter of fact, because that was before the undisputed. But how would you feel if Victor Postal would have beat Bud Crawford? How high would you hold Victor Postal in 140? So think about this. Josh Taylor was the king in 140, and a lot of people really forget how he became 140 king. Let me take this thing out. My fault. Hold on. People forget how Josh Taylor. Remember, Josh Taylor was in that series, that Muhammad Ali series. And we always say in the sport of boxing, yo, we want to see a tournament. We want to see a tournament. People forgot that Josh Taylor beat Regis Progress in that tournament. So there was no way that you're going to dug, no way of nothing. Just like we give Andre Ward that type of respect that he was the man in the Super 6, in that Super Series, Josh Taylor got his belt like that. Alexander Usyk got his belt like that. Naoya Inoue got his belts like that as well. You know what I'm saying? That was a big thing, and credit to those that put that together, because us boxing fans, we're always asking for some tournaments, and we don't get the proper fights that we've been asking for, right? Yo, we want to see a tournament. Let's put a tournament. And that's what they did on 140. The boxing profeco 90 pesos. Say, hey, que yo, loco. I got Ryder over Jaime, Nelo over Mel. I get Ugas over Barrios. I got Tim over Brian. I got Tommy over KSI. I got Regis over Haney. Wood over Warrington. Zhang versus Joyce. David over Boo Boo. Serrano versus Alicia. Bomb gone. Diablo, tú no hiciste stereo, mami. You didn't do stereo. I believe you, baby. Nah. Alicia Bomb gonna me llamó a mí porque ella estaba territa. She was. Alicia Bomb gonna call me, and she was type, yo, Punch, they trying to do me wrong and stuff like that. But eso no es nada, mami, eso no es nada. Que tú no hiciste nada. Nah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do no steroids and shit like that. You gotta believe me and stuff like that. But I believe you. Un besito ahí. I believe you more. I believe you more. Un besito ahí. Ay, tú no hiciste nada, mami. Tú verás. Yo le voy a decir a todo en Poche Droken Base. You didn't do nothing, baby. Okay. Let's go to a date. Let's have a nice date tomorrow. Nah, I want to be friends. Tú hiciste estéreo, vete de aquí, mujer. Estéreo user. You're supposed to be banned in the sport of boxing. I like all them picks. Them picks is good. Boo Boo and David. I think Joyce is gonna get Zhang in a rematch. That's just me. I got Joyce in a rematch. That's unpopular opinion, but I got Joyce on a rematch. Ryder over net. Hyman. I got Hyman on that. Ugas over Barrios. I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with Barrios. I like the way that I like his last one. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm getting the underdogs on this one. Serrano versus Alicia. Yeah, I got Serrano all the way. Shout out to Rapstar Boxing Eyes, the voice of the UK, London, bruv. Alicia me estaba llamando el otro día a mí. Hey, yo, E-Boxer fan, yo, Punch, Trump just surrendered in Georgia. Déjame mi presidente quieto, ¿oíste? Déjame mi presidente quieto. ¿Ah? Coño, man, los Democrats se están poniendo crazy. Déjame mi presidente. Trump 2024. Ya, déjamelo quieto ahí. Yo. Sí. Mira, family. Alicia Baumgartner me llamó a mí. Me dijo, see, I told the baby, she said, do you want to go to Dubai, baby? Punch, do you want to go to Dubai? The boxing world is getting on me and telling me that I use steroids. And you know I never use. Tell him, Tony. Tell him, Tony. Que mami, cálmate. Chila, relax, baby. Relax, I believe you, baby. Not because you know I try man hard, and everybody trying to say that I look like Tina Turner, and you know what I'm saying? I was always cut up. I look like Tina Turner, like Angela Bassett in the movie. It's just like that. Like when she beat up Ike Turner the last time, ain't nobody told Angela Bassett, aka Tina Turner, that she was, you know what I'm saying? That she was on steroids. Now I'm fucking all these guys. But cálmate, baby. Cálmate, I believe you. You don't do steroids. Tú no hiciste nada. I believe you. You don't gotta tell that. You don't gotta tell that to me. I believe you. I can see it in your eyes. I believe you. Huh? What do you want to do tonight? No, I just want to talk. I'm listening. But after listening, ¿qué tú quieres hacer, man? ¿Qué tú quieres hacer? Vamos para mi cuarto. No, you know, Punch, you know, man, cool. I want to keep this as a friend. Get friend. Mira, vete de mi casa, coño. Hey, I'm gonna tell the whole world that you need steroids. You should be banned for life. Hey, tú no me quieres dar pum pum. Tú no me quieres dar pum pum. Hey, la mamada. Si tú no me quieres dar la mamada, para vete de aquí, get the fuck out of here. Como que no le dijo a mí de André. Get the fuck out of here, Alicia Baumgartner, ¿oíste? Tú no me quieres dar pum pum. Tú no me quieres dar pum pum. No, you don't want to give me, la mamada nothing. Pero tú hiciste steroid. No. No, I was just kidding. All right. What you want me to do? It's like, hey, yo no dije eso. Pero ¿qué tú ves? You think I'm going to hear you complain for like an hour and stuff like that? Tú no me vas a dar nada. ¿Y qué tú crees que yo soy, pendejo? Oh, man. Mi gente. Dímelo, Martin. Vamos, Teofimo Lopez. Dice, hey, Ivan. She went from Alicia Baumgartner to WWE China. Hey, yo. Hey, rest in peace, China. Yo, Punch. Charles LT said, yo, Punch, I found out today I ain't no fighter. As I said on earlier, my puppy was about to pee, and I tried to pick her up to stop her. She jumped at the same time, and the crown off her head hit me right in the eyebrow. Bro, I hit the canvas and rolled around like 3 floors for 5 minutes screaming. How do these fighters take them shots, headbutts, and smile? Shit. Hey, y'all, call a timeout for a paper cut. Charles of the Cheese. These motherfuckers be fighting. At least remember Badu Jack when he fought with looked like a whole like he was giving birth. You remember Badu Jack when he got his forehead cracked over? Looked like that was like a vagina giving birth to like twins. And dude like, give me more. Man, if I would have fought like that, I would have been like this. Give me a mirror. I would have ran out the ring. I would have ran out the ring like Avila McCall. Shit, I would have seen a cut like that on my forehead and stuff like that. Shit. Badu Jolly look, it was about to give birth. I'm gonna give birth. That shit like a pussy with a period. Motherfucking Badu Jack. Forehead cutter like a pussy with a period, man. I was going to put some tampons on his forehead or something like that to stop the bleeding. I was going to put tampons on Badu Jack's forehead with that cut. She gave Alicia a tongue. Low Nose Boxing in the building. What's good, Low Nose Boxing? Shit. Alicia Bomb gonna be crying and telling me that she ain't do no steroids and she ain't trying to give me no booty. And then she think, no. But you see that steroid? Huh? Give me that booty. Or I don't tell you they ain't steroid. He said, Eddie Boxing Fest said, yo, Badu Jack was 10 centimeters dilated on his forehead. Push, come out, breathe. I can see the head. I don't know how he fought with that, bro. But shit, a warrior, man, right there. That was a funny one, any boxer fan. He said Badu Jack's forehead was 10 centimeters dilated on his forehead. Oh yeah. Hey, yo, you know what I like about the chat? You know what I like about my peoples, man? Like we all comedians and shit like that. We not boring like other channels and shit. Huh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Bud versus Colonel. He's good. And you know what I'm saying? And he has good style. And man, shut up. But anyway, Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford. Yes, Bud Crawford will be the favorite. But Sugar Ray Leonard was the favorite. And Roberto Duran still beat Sugar Ray Leonard. I believe that Bud Crawford never been in the ring with somebody just as athletic as Teofimo Lopez. I don't think that Bud Crawford has ever been in the ring with somebody just as fast in his feet, powerful in his hands, got the twitch muscle, got the speed, got the IQ, quite like Teofimo Lopez. He's not that big from Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is not as small. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez can rehydrate. If you saw Teofimo Lopez recently, hitting the heavy bag, we don't have these fighters. Like we have fighters that are fast. We don't have these fighters like Inoue, right? You could say Inoue, Teo, Tank. I want to say Boots that has that speed and power combination that you just can't really teach, right? But we seen Teofimo Lopez put it to a test. We seen Inoue and Teo put it to the test versus the most elites of the elites. This is why I always say that Teofimo Lopez is the captain generation, the commander-in-chief. And maybe this is really the reason why Teofimo Lopez is so good, because Teofimo Lopez's career is not rung on eggshells. His career, and I like Boots, but Teofimo Lopez's career is not a bunch of padded fighters like Brandon Lee. I like Brandon Lee, but look at his resume. He got 16 opponents that don't have a winning record. Look at that. That's padded. A lot of these guys have padded records. That doesn't say that it's good. They're not good, but a lot of these fighters has padded records. Guys like Shakur Stevenson, Bam Rodriguez, and Teofimo Lopez are quite a few that they did not. Vasily Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk, Naoya Inoue. These are guys that don't have padded records, padded resumes. They're not manufactured fighters. And I believe that Bud Crawford knows that he's not a manufactured fighter. Teofimo Lopez is better than the likes of anybody he faced in 140 than Bud Crawford faced in 140. I think that Teofimo Lopez is better than everybody he's faced in the welterweight division. Have y'all seen the now I know y'all I don't want to contradict myself, because I always say that sparring is just sparring. But in sparring, depending on what you're working on, you could see where this kid and where this other fighter is special, right? Or is good. You could see it in sparring. You're not going to say that he beats this guy over sparring, but you could see his reflex. You could see his punch selection. He can see how he goes by things, right? Have you ever seen Teofimo Lopez spar Sean Porter? You ever seen that sparring? In that sparring, Teofimo Lopez was doing so good that even Kenny Porter was telling his son that he's gonna take him out the ring. That's how good Teofimo Lopez was doing with the sparring versus Sean Porter. There's been since he and these are sparring sessions when they were young, when he's young. Just like the sparring session with remember, a lot of people talk about the sparring session with Teofimo Lopez and Tank Davis. Guess remember when Teo sparred Tank Davis, Tank was a professional already. He remembered Tank signed at the age of 18. He was already a professional. Teofimo Lopez was 15 years old. So it was a 15-year-old actually sparring a professional. And Teofimo Lopez held his own. If you see that sparring partner, even at a 15-year-old Teofimo Lopez, he held his own. He held his own. Everybody in Vegas would say that Teofimo Lopez was beating the crap out of Dennis Ugas. Dennis Ugas stated in a video before that Teofimo Lopez beat him, that did his thing in sparring. Punch, Zurdo got most padded record. Yeah, Zurdo got a padded record. Now, it depends on padded records, you know what I'm saying? Because some of the Mexican fighters, you know what I'm saying, they don't have a lot of amateur, they don't have the amateur stink. So they have a lot of professional fights. So it's different. Some of these guys start very, very early, like Canelo Alvarez, 15 years old. So he became a professional at 15. So he don't have a bunch of amateur fights. Well, he has a bunch of professional fights on a come up. So that's like a pass. We got to give guys like Canelo Alvarez. He started at 15, still fighting men. You know what I'm saying? I beat that boy Punch Zurdo. He got a padded resume. Yeah, he got a padded resume in my opinion. Zurdo. Good looking out with a 2 pesos. Super chat con los 2 pesos de plátano. Zurdo does, yeah. But Teo, and the good thing about this, you know, when we get the best fights in the sport of boxing, and not only the best fights, you know, when we get the best out of these fighters is when they got money, but they're not wealthy yet. They're still hungry. In the middle of getting money and still hungry. This is why I like to see the fights. That's where I like to see the fights. See, when Teofimo Lopez, he's not really, he only packed in he only walked out with 600K? 600K versus Vasily Lomachenko. That means he's still hungry and still don't got the money, so he's still hungry, still in the trenches. Same with John Taylor. You see how Teofimo Lopez is still Teofimo Lopez with his best win of his career, right? And still unhappy because he still don't got that cash flow. He still don't got it. He don't feel like he's respected in the checkbook. You feel me? But he's hungry still. I like those fights. That's why we saw Keith Thurman and Sean Porter fought the way that they fought. Yeah, they getting money. Yeah, they got their 2 million and stuff like that. But 2 million, you know what I'm saying? It's not wealthy. It's not wealthy, depending if you invested real well. But you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that's Canelo money. They're not living in silk sheets yet. Nah. So you're gonna get the best. Teofimo Lopez with a victory with Josh Taylor and the momentum that he has. Teofimo Lopez was right back in the gym. Teofimo Lopez is hungry. I'm telling y'all, folks, Teofimo Lopez is hungry. If you thought that he was hungry leading up to Josh Taylor, if you thought that he was hungry leading on to Vasily Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez is hungry. He's not satisfied with Josh Taylor. Let's not forget it was Teofimo Lopez that called out the winner of Errol the True Spence versus Terence Crawford. Who called out the winner? Who called out the winner? Anybody in 135, anybody in 140, one of the pieces, anybody calling out Bud Crawford below that? Is anybody in the 140-pound division calling out Bud Crawford, trying to move up to fight Bud Crawford? Is anybody outside of Boots and is calling out Bud Crawford in 147, outside of Boots and Thurman, right? Not everybody is calling out Bud. Before everything, Teofimo Lopez is calling out the win of Bud and Errol Spence. As a matter of fact, my interview last year, before the Martin fight, he called out Errol Spence. Guess what? Look at the comment section. Most of the people was laughing. Let me tell you let me tell you how people thought that Teofimo Lopez is crazy, but then there are people that don't think that Bud Crawford is crazy if I jump in 3 divisions up to fight Canelo Alvarez. And I was reading my comment section when Teofimo Lopez made these comments. But check this out. Let me read you a couple of comments when Teofimo Lopez called out the winner. It says Teofimo is too small for Spence, who is a middleweight fighting a welterweight. Another person said, I want to fight the winner between Bud and Spence. Then, oh, he was trying to trying to make fun of Teofimo Lopez. Proceeds to take a sip from water because making such a suicidal statement. That's how much people didn't believe in Teofimo Lopez before Josh Taylor. He said that his comment of wanting to fight the winner of Bud versus Spence is a suicidal statement. His heart rate went up, causing his mouth to dry. Lopez hasn't been the same since Cambosa. The punishment that he received affected his head. Did it affect his head versus Josh Taylor? No. There's more. Ridiculous. Taylor will finish the deluded Teo. Yo, if y'all ever go back to the video, when it's Teofimo Lopez predict Errol Spence and Bud Crawford and calls out for the winner. Look at the comment section. Everybody thought that he's crazy. 85% of the people think he's crazy. That he has no chance. That is a dumb fight. But wasn't Josh Taylor versus Bud Crawford a talk? Wasn't before the Catterall versus Teofimo Lopez, Josh Taylor said that he's want to move up to fight Bud Crawford if he beats Teofimo Lopez. And we heard it for several years, for a couple of years, a potential fight with Josh Taylor and Bud Crawford. Did anybody call Josh Taylor dumb? Did anybody call Josh Taylor crazy? Did anybody say that Josh Taylor can't do it? Did anybody say anything about Josh Taylor in a potential fight with Bud Crawford? No. The potential fight one time with Bud Crawford was Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, and especially when Josh Taylor beat Jose Ramirez to become undisputed, people was talking about Josh Taylor moving up to fight Bud Crawford. Now that Teofimo Lopez beat Josh Taylor, if that was a legitimate fight, if Josh Taylor versus Bud Crawford was so legitimate, why not Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford? I'm going to say it again. If Josh Taylor versus Bud Crawford was a legitimate fight, why not Teo versus Bud Crawford? This was before the Catterall. This was before the Catterall and after the Catterall. This was after Ramirez. And look, Josh Taylor called out. We can easily do this because he's been calling out Crawford for a long time. Let's go. Let's see. Josh Taylor is the right that will give me the fear factor. This was February 21st, February 21st, 2022. He called them out again. Josh Taylor been calling out Bud Crawford since even before the Ramirez. Josh Taylor calls out Terence Bud Crawford for a huge unification fight after the Brit historic win. This was 2021. 22. Josh believes he got what it takes to beat Terence Bud Crawford. January 31st. Look. Believes he got what it takes to beat Bud Crawford. January. That's 2022. Right? Let's go. Let's see. Predicts Crawford fight very realistic. I know how to. Josh Taylor, Crawford fight very realistic. I know how to beat him. But what I'm saying that at once, right, and Catterall fight was February. That was before his big win. Just like Teofimo Lopez's big win versus Josh Taylor. He's the lineal champion at 140 versus the lineal champion at welterweight. You beat the man to be the man. So you're the man at 140. Why not move up? And remember this. If Josh Taylor never would have vacated those titles, Teofimo Lopez will be regarded, recognized by all as undisputed at 140. And that's the way I'm looking at it. You know what's crazy? Whenever the ridiculous hype starts, you know it's a problem. Stop the cap. Teo a bum compared to Crawford. That's when you know there's not boxing fans. When they say stop the cap. Teo a bum compared to Crawford. See, that's when I don't even know if you're a boxing fan. I don't know if you're a troll. You know, we have enough of these guys in the to say bum with the thing that he already accomplished. Or maybe you're just living in the moment, brother. Maybe you're living in this major. You're living in this. You're in the clouds right now because what Bud Crawford did to Errol Spence. I get it. Imagine being with Lomachenko in the same division for 7 years and you never called them out. You guys never fought. That's crazy. And then comes Lopez, and here comes Haney, and here comes Jermaine. You know, Teofimo Lopez did Gervonta Davis dirty, working 135. We know that. No, Tio is definitely in the league. Mírate idiota. Mírate idiota, mi hermano. Espera, mira esto. Mira esto, mira esto, mira esto, mira esto. He said Cambosos beat the crap out of Smash. Knows TLF out of here. Crawford #1. TL bum comparable. He said, you still stuck on why you don't talk about Lomachenko and Josh Taylor? Hediondo Nas. Hediondo Nas. Maldito Hediondo. And I'm just calling you Hediondo because that's how you call yourself nasty. So I'm just saying it in Spanish. Maldito Hediondo. You still stuck on Camboso? ¿Y qué le hizo a Josh Taylor, maldito hediondo feo, mal parido? ¿Ah? ¿Qué le hizo? ¿Qué Teofimo le hizo a Josh Taylor y a Lomachenko? ¿Ah? ¿Qué le hizo a esos tigres, mi hermano, Maldito hediondo. Ain't nobody said that Bud Crawford's not #1. We all know that he's #1 pound for pound. Maldito hediondo, sucio, viejo, sucio nas. Usted es un sucio. I'm a fan, and I like your channel. I know Tio's your guy, but come on, man. What's that supposed to mean, Jameson Edward? Am I supposed to only pick fight? Yo, in every fight, there's going to be somebody that's going to be projected to be better. I'm a Tio fan. I like your channel. I know Tio's your guy. Mine's too. But come on, man. What is come on? So you don't want Tio to... This is what Tio been doing. Tio is the guy, the underdog that beat Lomachenko, the underdog that beat Josh Taylor. He just an underdog guy. Y'all never going to believe it. If Tio is your guy, just like you know he's my guy, then you know he's up for Bud Crawford. What do you think that Bud Crawford going to do to Tio? He did Errol Spence? Teofimo Lopez ain't no Errol Spence. Teofimo Lopez is better than Errol Spence. Tio is better than Errol Spence. In every skill set, he's better. He's better than Errol Spence. Skill set, he's better than Errol Spence. Everybody thought that he's predictable. I told y'all. I told y'all what was going to happen. Technically, Lopez wouldn't have been undisputed at 140. Technically, Lopez wouldn't have been undisputed. Yes, he would have been undisputed. Why is that? Why is that like a thing? Like, forget about what y'all thought won the fight with Catterall and Taylor. That didn't happen. I thought Devin Haney lost to Lomachenko. He's still lightweight undisputed. So it don't matter what we thought or what Catterall, if Catterall beat Josh Taylor. Who's the lightweight undisputed right now? Devin Haney. That's it. That is it. Don't matter if I thought that he lost 116, 112. He is the lightweight undisputed. And Josh Taylor didn't lose to Catterall. He was still undisputed. The only way that he lost his title is because he vacated the title. So if Teofimo Lopez would have beat him with the titles, he would have been undisputed. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, man. This is just easy. Why nobody just want to keep it real? Let's all keep it real. Is he recognized? Is he recognized by the belt federations? No, but by the politics of the sport of boxing, that's what happened. Let's put the politics to the side and identify and recognize the truth. Roy Jones Jr. identified the truth. Antonio Tarver, they recognize it. The people in the sport of boxing, the guys, the boxers, the legendary boxers, and they know who he is. At 135, Tio is undisputed, my opinion. No, there's a difference between Taylor vacating due to the Catterall fight. Not due to the Catterall fight. He vacated the titles after the Catterall fight. He vacated the titles after the Catterall fight. Facts. Right? Tell him, Charles Edward Cheese, you can't become franchise without first being WBC champion. Tell him. Tell him. Bud will wash Teo in 5 rounds. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why? Why? Why he will wash him in 5 rounds? So Jose Benavidez Jr. is better than Teofimo, right? Jose Benavidez Jr. is better than Teofimo. You guys with these 5 rounds and 6 rounds, just because he beat Errol Spence from pillar to post. I understand. This is boxing. He beats Teofimo Lopez in 5 rounds. Oh, please. Blitz said Teo just showed that he could come out from a loss and took out Josh. Facts. Why did Teo loses to Bud Crawford in 5? Now Bud Crawford is Terminator now. Yeah, Bud Crawford is Terminator. Oh, Bud Crawford, the untouchable force. The untouchable force. He's Iron. He's Iron Man. He's the Incredible Hulk. Oh! Come on, Punch. Play the game. You think Teo is a piece? No, I don't think that. I don't think that. Look, Charles Other Cheese. I don't think that people thought that Bud would beat Errol Spence like that. I don't even think Bud knew that he'll beat Errol Spence like that. I don't even think that Bud thought that Errol Spence was that easy. And I don't think that Bud's team. I think Bud's team was in our all. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what can happen, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what can happen in the rematch. Roberto Duran, look, we're talking about Teofimo Lopez versus Crawford. Today's Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Roberto Duran beat Sugar Ray Leonard. In the rematch, Sugar Ray Leonard made him quit. Think about that. He didn't beat Roberto Duran. He made him quit. That's a rematch. We don't know what can happen in rematches. We don't know. I'm not even writing off. I'm not even an Errol Spence fan. And I'm going to say it again. If Errol Spence fights Bud Crawford, I think that Bud Crawford will whip him again. I would even be again surprised if he whip him the way that he whip him 154. I'm not writing off Errol Spence like he's a bum or nothing like that. Like people know. I think it will be a tougher fight. I seen Dillian White get knocked out cold by Povetkin. Cold. No air, no life. Shit was bad. We thought that Dillian White died. In the rematch, he knocked out Povetkin. What I'm saying, we got to relax. When a fighter could do it consecutively and stuff like that, like, hey, yo, he's been knocking everybody out in the welterweight division. That doesn't mean he's gonna knock out no Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez in the I don't think so. He got power, he got skills. Bud Crawford is pound for pound number 1. But I don't think he beats Teofimo Lopez in 5 rounds. Hash man boxing. Yeah, but he got knocked out cold. He got knocked out cold. Not even cold water will wake his ass up. Not even a defibrillator could have woke him up. Matter of fact, they needed a defibrillator to wake his ass up. I don't give a damn. Rematches is different. That doesn't mean it's going to have a different outcome, but you can have a different performance. That doesn't mean you can have a different outcome, but you can have a different performance. I didn't want to see no Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, the 3rd fight. But guess what? Deontay Wilder was on road to beat Tyson Fury in that 4th, 5th round. And then if he would have not, if Tyson Fury would have stayed down, what people would have said about Deontay Wilder? He did perform better than the 1st and the 2nd fight. Yes, he fell flat in his face, but Tyson Fury had to really up his will more than any time in his life. But you could perform differently. Manny Pacquiao beat Marquez. Marquez knocked out Manny Pacquiao cold in the rematch. We don't know. Let's stop. If they're still active and they're about to fight, let's stop writing the ending already. He said, man, Tio looked trash versus Morton and lost to Cambosos versus Acknowledge. Now you're taking everything away from. It's funny that you went from he looked at trash versus he looked at trash versus Cambosa. He looked at trash versus Sandor, and then you say Drain Taylor. But you don't. But I get it. You all about not giving Teofimo Lopez credit. So I'm not even gonna. I'm not. You just a Teofimo Lopez hater. Yeah. Just a little narrative hoe. That's what it is. A bunch of narrative hoes that believe in the same shit that their other boxing content creators tell them. They don't even think for themselves. That's like me talking about, yo. This is I think this is the dumbest shit. After we see a performance of Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor, and motherfuckers still bringing out, but he didn't look how he lived versus Cambosos. That's like me talking about. Matter of fact, let's talk about Manny Pacquiao's career, and let's bring out who he lost to, right? This how these motherfuckers sounds like Hashman boxing. This how these motherfuckers sound when they talk about Teofimo Lopez, right? Smoking that hash and shit like that got him thinking. Look at this. Look. Yo, Punch. What do you think about Teofimo Lopez versus Barrera? Man, he got knocked out by Sangusara. Yo, what about Teofimo Lopez versus Marquez? Man, but what he knocked out? He got knocked out by Torre Campo. But what about Cotto? Man, he got knocked out by Torre Campo. But what about Ricky Hand? But he got knocked out by Torre Campo. But what about Shane Mosley? But he got knocked out by Torre Campo. Motherfucker gonna bring up the Cambosa until this motherfucker's 45 years old and did a bunch of legacy. That's like me bringing up De Jesus when Roberto Duran lost to De Jesus. Oh no, he lost to De Jesus. What about Roberto Duran versus no, but he lost to De Jesus. What about but he lost to De Jesus. What about when he beat Sugar Ray Leonard? Yeah, but he lost to De Jesus. Man, shut the fuck up. Didn't he prove to you already? Didn't he prove to you? You dumb idiots. Y'all just mad. I'm saying Tio and Bud. What happened? You scared that Tio will beat Bud or something? He don't need to worry about nothing that you need to worry about. Teofimo Lopez going to fight Bud and what? They need to worry about that. They need to worry about that. They need to worry about him. He's the lineal champ. He don't have to worry about nobody. Yeah, whoever I give props to is my boy, right? So what? Fuck out of here, man. You guys are bringing Camboso up after Josh Taylor. That's like me bringing the first loss of Bernard Hopkins. Nah, he ain't gonna be that great because he lost to this motherfucker. Y'all be on that weak ass analysis, man. He's a 2-time lineal. How about that? 2-time lineal. You know what? You know what that means? He beat the man to be the man. How many 2-time lineal there is in the sport of boxing? Can you tell me? Anybody? How many 2 lineals in the sport of boxing right now? Come on, y'all. How many 2-time lineal? We got Bud, right? We got Tio. We got Canelo. Who else? I believe Inoue, maybe. How many lineal? Even Matias respect, even right? Pugilism. Even Matias said, "This guy gonna be like, what about George Cambosos and Sandor Martin? Yeah, he beat Sandor Martin too. He beat Sandor Martin. Those are the facts. Don't give me no damn feelings. He beat Sandor Martin. It's funny. This was funny. It's funny that people would be like, yo, but he really lost to Sandor Martin. But then I'll be like, all right, so he should be undisputed. Y'all want to play the would have, could have shit? Another effort. He beat Sando Martin, the guy that retired, Mikey Garcia. He beat Sando Martin in 3 weeks' notice. Some other fighters would just pull out of a fight and don't fight Sando Martin. Let's not forget that he was supposed to fight Jose Pedraza and beat Sando Martin. Fuck out of here, man. Sando Martin ain't do shit, but a little flash knockdown in the second round and do nothing throughout the whole fight. Nobody even care when Sando Martin gonna fight again. When anybody did a video of Sando Martin? Jack Catterall should be undisputed. No, he should not be undisputed. He lost. Okay, he lost a close fight. Okay, in the UK where everybody was going. A lot of UK media wanted him to win. Yeah, I could think that Catterall won the fight. Hey, I think that Lomachenko beat Devin Haney. So Devin Haney's not the real undisputed. Hold on. So okay. All right. Okay. So Lomachenko should be undisputed, right? Right, Hashman Boxing? Devin Haney should be undisputed. And that shit is worth it because at least they didn't throw a bunch of Bud Light and ran him, and his own people ran him out of his own hometown, own arena. That's embarrassing. That's like somebody kicking you out from your own house. Can you imagine your whole fan base turn on you and shit like that? Devin Haney be from Las Vegas, shit, threw a bunch of Bud Lights and everything. So Lomachenko is really undisputed, right, Hashman? Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko is undisputed then. Should be undisputed. So we're gonna go with the could have, should have. So Teofimo Lopez should be 2-time undisputed then. So Teofimo Lopez should be 2-time undisputed, right? Catterall slowed down after the knockdown. Yeah, he slowed down after the last 4 rounds. Josh Taylor came back. I even got Catterall. It went about 1 round or a draw. I could see it going another way because I gave like 2 split decisions, and I did the live. It was on my channel. But let's talk about what's the video. Let's talk about Teo versus Bud. Let's talk about Teo versus Bud. The Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard of today. 2 accomplished fighters, 1 division away. That's realistic. I want Teo versus Bud too. You know why? Because I know that Teo will love the fight. Teo will love the fight. Hold on, give me a second. One second. Yeah. That's a fight right there. That's daring to be great. Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, that's unrealistic. That don't happen. And Punch Around Boxing, he's undisputed. 2-time undisputed. The real 2-time undisputed Teofimo Lopez. The real 2-time undisputed Teofimo Lopez. The politics of boxing. F that up. F that to be recognized like that. But was supposed to be the first two division undisputed champion of the world. Just like Derrick James told Bud Crawford. Yep. That's the fight that we need to see. That's legacy versus legacy. Best fight in the best. Lineal versus lineal. Pound for pound versus pound for pound. That's what it is. That's what I'm talking about. I hate this. Haters! Pound for pound versus pound for pound. Lineal versus lineal. The man that was supposed to be recognized, two division undisputed, versus the guy that actually did it to be recognized by the belt federations. Yes. And I think it's a good fight. Of course, it's always going to be I think that Bud Crawford never been in the ring with 8-ounce gloves with a guy like Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, I don't think he never been in the ring with somebody special like that. You know what I'm saying? You could say that Gamboa, but Gamboa came from what, 2 divisions up to fight Bud Crawford or something like that. And he got hurt by Gamboa too. You know what I'm saying? He got hurt by Gamboa. I think he could get hurt by Teo. Bud Crawford got put down by Mean Machine. I think Teofimo Lopez got the power to put him down. It's not like Bud Crawford never been chin checked, but he's overcome. Just like Teofimo Lopez, he's overcome. Bud Crawford been dropped. Teofimo Lopez been dropped. They rose back up and finished the fight. I think Bud Crawford never been in the ring with somebody quite like a Teofimo Lopez, and vice versa. Teofimo Lopez never been in the ring with a guy. Well, if you look at the skills, the mechanics, at the time when Teofimo Lopez fought Vasily Lomachenko, it was Vasily Lomachenko that was regarded pound for pound, 1, 2, 3, you could flip it around. So he's been in the ring with a high tech. He's been in the ring with a high tech. He's seen it. And the good thing about it is that people could be like, well, Bud Crawford could switch from southpaw or something. I'm going to tell you like this. Teofimo Lopez's best wins was versus southpaws. So it's better probably Bud Crawford may have to switch to orthodox because Teofimo Lopez is great when it comes to southpaw fighters. Teo can't mess with Boots. Boots need to fight somebody, Hash man. Ain't nobody in this community talked about Boots more than me or first than me. Nobody in this community. Y'all just caught on to Boots. I introduced Boots to this community. To the YTBC, I introduced Boots to this community. Motherfucker was asking me, who the fuck is Boots? Go check when I used to talk about Boots. I used to talk about Boots and Josh Kelly as going to be the future, the future of the welterweights. Josh Kelly and Boots. Nobody was talking about Boots but me. So trust me, I know Boots. But Boots ain't. You want to go through Boots' resume? You want to go through Boots' resume? You want to go through Boots' resume? Let's go through Boots' resume. See if we live in a dream. Why are we comparing people that are it factors than the people that pass the eye test? See, Boots passed the eye test. I don't even know if Boots could beat Gary Antoine Russell, his kryptonite in the amateurs. I don't know that. Let's see, Jerome Boots Ennis. Shout out to Jerome. And I hate when I hate to do this. I just don't like people to be. I want compare guys that look. We could talk Teo and Haney. We could talk Teo and Shakur. We could talk about Teo and Bud. We could talk about Bud and Spence, Thurman and Bud. We could talk about these fights like, yo, they earned something. They've been a champion. They done something and stuff like that. It's cool. We could do that. But then, Jerome Boots Ennis beat the shit out of Teo. Jerome Boots Ennis, I love Jerome Boots Ennis. He passed the eye test. He's doing great, but he hasn't fought, not even an elite fighter. Boots Ennis have not even fought a gatekeeper. So, and technically, I don't know where Boots is at. I know where Boots is at with skill set. The naked eye, I could see the jab, the swing, the southpaw, everything. Oh, wow, beautiful. One of my favorite fighters. Boots Ennis is my top 5 favorite fighter and my top 5 favorite fighters. I'm talking about pound for pound. My personal favorite, Boots. It's one of my T.O. Boots, Uwe, Bam Rodriguez, Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? I've been a fan of Keith. I've been a fan of Wilder. You know what I'm saying? I like Virgil Ortiz, but Boots. Oh, I always talk about Boots, but hasn't done anything. Bud needs to fight. Boots. Tio needs to clean out 140. Tio could go to 147 and fight Bud. I think that Teofimo Lopez, think about it, if Bud Crawford leaves the welterweight division and drop his belts, you don't think that Teofimo Lopez could go to 147 and grab a belt? I think that Teofimo Lopez beat Alexa Rocha. Put Teofimo Lopez, if Bud Crawford drops the belts, in 147, Boots Ennis elevated to IBF champion. The winner between Ugas and who he's fighting will be elevated as WBC champion. WBA, I don't know who's the WBA champion in the welterweight division. I don't know who's going to be elevated. And then in the WBO, it will be for the vacant title because Teofimo Lopez is already a WBO champion at 140. He could petition a fight for that vacant belt versus Alexa Rocha in WBO. And I think that Teofimo Lopez beats Alexa Rocha and becomes a 3-division world champion. The welterweight division is there for the taking. Virgil Ortiz move up to 154. Bud will move to 154. So it's only going to be Boots. So it would be maybe Teofimo Lopez versus Boots in the future in the welterweight division. Tio versus Boots is more realistic. I think Tio versus Boots is just as realistic as Tio versus Bud Crawford. And Tio has earned the right to fight a Terence Bud Crawford just as much as Boots. As a matter of fact, Tio has earned to fight Crawford more than Boots. More than Boots. Now, but Boots is in position as an IBF interim. He's in position for a world title. Yes, he's in position for a world title. But it's more of a legacy fight, Tio versus Crawford. It's more of a legacy fight. If Crawford beats Boots, he's beating. What is he beating? If Crawford beat Boots, who is Crawford beating? If Crawford beats Tio, who has he beat? Another pound for pound fighter. Another champion in 2 different divisions. The man in 140, like Bud Crawford was the man in 140. The man at 135, just like Bud Crawford was 135. Teofimo Lopez is sniffing on Bud Crawford's neck. And y'all don't even see it. Y'all don't even see it. The last best 135, Bud Crawford before he left to 140. The best 140 before he left. And guess who's that? Teofimo Lopez, the best 135, the best 140. He's sniffing on Bud Crawford's neck. He's coming after Bud Crawford. Stay your ass right there, bud. Stay your ass at 147. You got money. There's a money fight right here to be made. Bud said he's not coming to 147 for nobody but Tank. Yeah, because he know. Yeah, go for Tank. Because Tank ain't no threat. Tank ain't no threat at 147 like Tio is. Tank hasn't done anything. He has to say, Bud said he's not coming to 147. Yeah, he know Tio coming. That's why. Pause. What he's going to get? Tank for what? Because he beat Ryan Garcia? Because he beat Pitbull Cruz? Because he beat Hector Luis Garcia? Huh? Gamboa with Achilles? Huh? Jose Pedraza? That's what he want? All right. Okay, get him. Go get Tank. Go get that easy work. Bud said he's retiring after Charlo unless he gets Canelo. Boots hasn't earned shit, but Micho, there are still a lot of big names at 135 for Tio. There's a lot of big names for Tio, I understand, but those other names don't want no Tio. Those other big names don't want Tio. When Tio's running high, ain't nobody calling out Tio. When Tio beat Josh Taylor, everybody is. Why don't Devin Haney petition to fight Teofimo Lopez? Why don't he petition the WBO for him to fight Teofimo Lopez? What happened now? Why doesn't Devin Haney petition to fight Teofimo Lopez in the WBO now? Now what happened? No, he'd rather fight Regis Prograis that got beaten by Josh Taylor. Now every time when Teofimo Lopez is in position, but right after Teofimo Lopez and Cambosos, everybody called out Camboso. Everybody wanted Camboso. Even Devin Haney was like, oh my God, I would do whatever. Dad, I don't care. I would do whatever. I'll take whatever money, whatever term on the sheet, whatever, don't negotiate. Just let's go over there. I go to Australia. I go out there Australia without you. Now that Teofimo Lopez is on top, you're going to the 140. Why you calling out Regis Prograis? Call the man, the lineal champion, now Teofimo Lopez. Go petition the WBO to fight Teofimo Lopez. Not nobody want to fight. Nobody calling out no Teofimo Lopez. Tank ain't calling out Teofimo Lopez. Regis Prograis said that he going to fight Adrian Broner next, and then he will unify the titles with Matias or Teofimo Lopez. Who's calling out Tio? Who do you count on to have the statistical fortitude to risk it? Tio. Who do I count on? Who is not this strategic type of fighter? Tio, I'm going to risk it. I'm the underdog. Teofimo Lopez was the underdog versus Loma, the underdog versus Josh Taylor. He risked it. He's not one of these little fighters. He's not a manufactured fighter. That's why he said here on Punch Run Boxing, I want the winner of Bud Crawford and Spence. He didn't say he want the winner of Matias and Dow, the winner of this. Nah. He said, I want the winner of, and matter of fact, and Teofimo Lopez went to the press conference in NYC and said, I want the winner of them. He's gully, bro. That's the guy that you want. This is the type of fighter that we need in boxing, that we want in boxing. That's what it is. That's the Roberto Duran era. That's the Roberto Duran heart right there. Yeah, Roberto Duran lost to the Hearns and the Haglers and stuff like that, but he got a corazon, the heart, that even a lot of people, even by losing to these guys, have put Roberto Duran better than these guys. Even that he lost to Hearns and Haglers, people consider Roberto Duran even better. Pap said, yo, why did Devin celebrate it harder than Tio lost? You know, Tio needs to move up to 147 and become undisputed. He can. But that's a money fight right there. That's a money fight. I don't think that a lot of these fighters could sell by themselves. I don't think that Bud Crawford sells by himself. I think that Bud Crawford sells with a fighter, and that's a good fight. You're not Canelo and you're not Tank. Tank could sell. We've seen that Tank could put butts in the seats, not sell pay-per-view. But even look at even Canelo Alvarez. What was reported that he sold 200K or something like that with Young Ryder. In boxing, these guys are not selling pay-per-view by themselves. The fight sells now. But Tank could sell by that. I understand why they move him the way they move, because he could sell by himself. Arenas. Got to give him credit. Haney was calling Tio 135 when Tio was unified. Yeah, call out. I called that. Look, look, Mister. Look, Mister. I want to fight Deontay Wilder. What's that supposed to mean? Did you put in the paperwork to fight Teofimo Lopez? Did you put in the paperwork the way that you put in the paperwork to fight Regis Prograis? You understand? Mister, did Devin Haney put in the paperwork to fight Tio like he put in the paperwork to fight Regis? No. In boxing, it's paperwork. They call out. Call out ain't shit. You put a petition, you request, you send a contract, you send a term sheet, you send something, you send a proposal, you send something. Has the Haney's ever sent something to Teofimo Lopez and his representative? Nothing, never, not a zip. Come on, man. This is the premier. This is the premier channel that had the Haney's and the Lopez here. Everything that was set, it's been here. Now, of course, the Haney's, they don't come to Punch Drunk Boxing anymore because that's it. They deal with other people that don't like Punch Drunk Boxing, so they only gonna deal with people that's gonna sing the tune that they want that they want to be sung. That's what it is. But we had the Lopez here and the Teo here. The 4 million thing came from Punch Drunk Boxing. When I asked Eddie Hearn about the 4 million that Bill Haney is gonna get for the to pay Teofimo Lopez, he looked at me like I'm stupid. I said, "What are you talking about? We're not." He told me personally, we're not worried about the Teofimo Lopez. What we worried about is the winner of Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. That's the only thing we're worried about. So that $4 million that they were supposed to get was never gonna be gotten. That was a lie. I spoke to Eddie Hearn myself. So tell me, when did Haney send anything to Lopez? Let's go, Teo. Let's be real boxing fans. Come on, Teo versus Crawford. The Roberto Duran versus the Sugar Ray Leonard. Don't we always talk about that? We wish that this era is like the old era. Don't we always shame these fighters today and say, man, I wish these fighters are like or like Roberto Duran and Hagler and Wilfred Benitez, Arguello y toda esa vaina. Isn't this? Don't we always shame this community, this boxing community? Always try to shame today with yesterday. And now I'm giving you a fight that resembles yesterday, and some of y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like Teo versus Bud Crawford. Can you imagine if we were back in the days and I said, "Yo, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard," would y'all say the same thing right now? Y'all say, "Nah. What about Hearn versus Hagler? Nah, Hearns is 154 pounder. You know what I'm saying? He ain't moving up to middleweight, man. Hagler is too big and strong for him." Ain't nobody, he said, Jay Perez said, ain't nobody beating Crawford. Can you see that? Nobody was talking about winning or losing. Everybody, I'm talking about the fight. So because you don't feel like nobody beats Crawford, so Crawford should retire. And nobody should fight Crawford because ain't nobody beating Crawford. So forget it. Crawford should not fight anybody. That's it. It's done. Nobody should fight Crawford because he's gonna lose to anybody. Hashman said that's a waste of time for Crawford. How's a waste of time for Crawford? How's a waste of time for Crawford? So Crawford versus David Evanesian wasn't a waste of time for Crawford. Crawford versus Kell Brook. Crawford versus Amir Khan versus Crawford. You want me to go down the line of a waste of time that Bud Crawford fought in the welterweight division? You want me to go and go through his resume again? And now it's a waste of time for Crawford because one win puts him in this luxurious section in that he's untouchable and he should only fight who? Canelo. Teo's no Duran. Yeah, Crawford is no Ray Leonard. Crawford is no Ray Leonard. Y'all motherfucker hating on Teo. Y'all hate you mad, Hashman Boxing. You mad. You mad. Why you don't want Teo versus, why you don't want another lineal champion to fight another lineal champion? What in the history you felt, what in the history of boxing that you feel 140 versus 147, the best fighting the best is bad? Yo, Nelly, I'm telling you, I don't know what I do. Yo, you know one thing it is? I don't know what Teo done to these people. Teo has done the risky things in boxing. And these guys, no, Teo, no, that's not, no. Crawford, no, he doesn't do anything for Crawford. You know what? Devin Haney does nothing. Devin does nothing for Regis. Regis Prograis should not fight Devin Haney. Does nothing for him. What does Devin Haney does for Regis Prograis? As a matter of fact, what does Haney do for? What does Haney do for? Okay, he does nothing for Crawford. What does Haney do for Teo? Nah, Teo didn't retire. He's back, and now people are scared running. He's back. What does Haney do for Teo? That Teo, if Teo brings that to the table for Crawford, what does Haney do for Teo? Charles Edward Cheese got $100. Queso. Mira, queso. Hey, I'm gonna bring you. Hey, yo, what's your favorite? Charles Edward Cheese? What's your favorite? Because we got Randy. We got el merengue de Randy. Tell me a tune so I can hook up a tune and shit like that for you. What la bachata, el merengue, la salsa. Huh? What you want? I gotta bring a tune for Charles at the Cheese like I got Randy, la música de Randy. Pastor, shout out with your boy. Cheers! Can we get música de Randy? La música de Randy. Mira, Randy, te está quitando la música, te está robando la música. Charles está robando la música de Randy. Teo, go Crawford. Teofimo, go Crawford. Teofimo, go Crawford. Teofimo, se está quillando la gente. Se está quillando la gente. Los Teofimo, hater. Los Teofimo, hater. La música de Randy. DJ Camelo Alex Osecha, págame la música. Te están robando la música. Mira, te están robando la música, Randy. No que te están robando la música. I'm glad you sing Teo's praise and being from the town and what he's doing. He deserves to be superstar. That's why he has to take the steps to get there. Facts, Jameson. And he has taken the steps to get there. But you got fans like Hashman Boxing. This is what it is. Hashman, he never liked Teo, but he sees the legacy of Teo. And if he gets to fight Bud Crawford, that's more legacy for Teo. See, what Hashman wants is for the legacy of Teo to calm down. No, I don't want him to get the opportunity of Bud, because if he does beat Bud, then he'll be one of the greatest that I'm talking. He's one already. Teofimo Lopez, if he beats Bud, where would you consider Teofimo Lopez? If Teofimo Lopez fights Bud and beats Bud, where will you rank Teofimo Lopez all time? At the age of 26. Let me put it. This is why a guy like Hashman Boxing and other people are jealous. They're jealous. They're envious. They're scared. They're scared that Teofimo Lopez will grab that opportunity and do the impossible. If Teofimo Lopez beats Bud Crawford at welterweight, become a 3-division world champion, undisputed at welterweight, where will you rate Teofimo Lopez all time? Gracias, Charles Edward Cheese, con los $100 super chat, my friend. You're jealous, my friend. I'm asking you, and are you at Hashman Boxing? If Teofimo Lopez beats Bud Crawford, where will you rate Teofimo Lopez all time? Maldito hater. You a hater. Teo pound for pound #1 and top 10 all time. If that, you don't want to see that, right? You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see the thought of that. That's what it is. put him up against. He's already a pound for pound fighter. He's already a lineal at 140. He got one division left to go. Where else he's gonna go? Bud Crawford, he went from 135, 140 to 147, and guess what? Let me think about something. Hold on. Did Bud Crawford came from 135? Yes. Did he move up to 140? Yes. Became the lineal undisputed champion? Yes. Okay, Tio was the lineal at 135. He went up to 140. He's the lineal at 140. Beat the guy that was undisputed in Josh Taylor. Bud Crawford beat the guy, became undisputed at 140. As soon as Terence Bud Crawford said he's going to welterweight, what was the fight? Even, matter of fact, even before he fought to become undisputed at 140, Terence Bud Crawford was calling out Keith Thurman and also was willing to fight the likes of Errol Spence, but he was calling out Keith Thurman. Was that call out? Was that a bad idea? Is it people that's always saying that before the Errol Spence and Bud Crawford fight that Bud Crawford been calling out Errol Spence and this been a fight that's been marinated and this has been 5 years overdue? So why guy coming from 140 and then y'all shame him with the Errol Spence? Y'all shame Errol Spence for waiting 5 to 4 years to fight Bud Crawford. So Bud Crawford was good enough to fight Errol Spence, but Tio was not good enough for 140 to fight the welterweight champion and Bud Crawford. I'm convinced Punch Tio versus Bud. That's what I'm talking about, Pat. That's what I'm talking about. Pat. I'm convinced Punch Tio versus Bud. Let's get it. That's legacy right there. That's best fighting the best. That is best fighting the best. That's lineal versus lineal. Accomplished versus accomplished. Pound for pound versus pound for pound. Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Teofimo Lopez, Sugar Ray Leonard. That's the fight to be made. That's the fight. Jamel Charlo is fighting Canelo Alvarez. Tim Zhu is fighting somebody else. If he can't get the rematch with Errol Spence, Bud Crawford versus Teofimo Lopez. Yo, Punch. Didn't Haney petition to fight for what he thought he was going to be vacate belt when he thought Teo? Yeah. Yeah, Jay Perez. Playing place that Teofimo Lopez beats Bud. I'm not against Tio versus Bud. I just really want him to humble Haney and his fanboys. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fight too. That is a good fight. Haney versus, I want that fight. Tio versus Haney. Tio versus Ryan. I still want Tio versus Ryan. I want him to get his money. Tio versus Tank. I want Tio. That's the legacy. That's the legacy fight I have with Teofimo Lopez, just because I feel like their skills and talent, their God-given ability with speed and power, I think that will mesh up real good. I always wanted to see Tank. Tank is also one of my favorite fighters. I'm not a fan of his career. I'm not a fan of his resume. Put it that way. Not his career because he got a lot of money. I'm not a fan of his resume, but I'm a fan of his skills and talent. I would love to see Tank and Tio. And I said it. I want to see Tank, Tio in Super Bowl, February 10th. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see Tio versus Haney. I love to see. These are the primary. Look, for Teofimo Lopez, the primary fights for me, real primary fights. Tio, Tank. Tio, Haney. Tio, Ryan. Ryan. I want Tio, Regis. Tio, Matias. But Tio and Bud is also in the mix. And just because I know Tio's heart, Tio's motivation, Tio the risk taker, he got the heart to step in the ring with Bud Crawford. And I don't think none of those guys have the even, I don't think they imagine themselves with Bud Crawford in the ring. Now, Shakur Stevenson, I mean, they friends and they spar together and stuff like that. So aside from Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur Stevenson is always in the ring with Bud Crawford. But what I'm saying, Bud versus Tio right now is like Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard. It is what it is. Right now, Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford is like Roberto Duran versus Sugar Ray Leonard. And if we're asking these fighters today and shame them today to do what we saw in the past, these guys wasn't on the same weight class. Hearn was in the middleweight when he fought Hagler. Roberto Duran that fought Hagler. Roberto Duran was in the middleweight. Sugar Ray Leonard was not a pure middleweight. He came after 3 years to fight Hagler. 3 years absent for Hagler, beat Hagler. In all reality, everybody moved up to face Hagler. Hagler really did it. Hagler always have the advantage out of all these guys. That's why I don't put Hagler in, I don't put Hagler ahead of Hearns. I don't put Hagler ahead of Roberto Duran, and I don't put Hagler ahead of Sugar Ray Leonard. Hagler was more of the bully. You know what I'm saying? Hagler is the guy that never moved up. But with T.O. is better than Duran. I know dudes are going to go off. T.O. cakewalks all over, but T.O. best to ever do it. That's what I'm talking about, A-Raw. Top 20 all time. Come on, T.O. versus Bud. Y'all can't. Yo, I think because the only. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be real. For the people that feel like, nah, Punch, Bud and T.O., nah, Bud will do this to T.O. It's only because you're living in the moment of what Bud did to Spence. Am I right or wrong? At least be honest. The reason why some of y'all may look at it like, nah, yo, Bud is too much for T.O. is only because of what Bud did to Errol Spence. Yes or no? Because nobody could tell me that a Bud versus Josh Taylor was a good potential matchup for Bud Crawford, for Josh Taylor to move up. T.O. beat Josh, and now it's too much. It wasn't too much for Bud and Josh Taylor. Leonardo Rodriguez con los 5 pesos a comprar French fry and chicken wing. T.O. versus Bud would never happen. Bud is at 154. He said he only come down to fight 147 again for Tank because it's a money fight. Well, we changing it up, Leonardo Rodriguez. Teofimo Lopez is sniffing on his neck. And fuck that Tank fight. Tank ain't earned shit. Let's go. Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford. Legacy versus legacy. Pound for pound versus pound for pound. Lineal versus lineal. What happened? Yeah, Bud never been in the ring with somebody's speed and power. They got the speed and power, the combination of speed and power, the intellect of Teofimo Lopez. You was the man at 135. Teofimo Lopez was the man at 135. You was the man at 140. Teofimo Lopez is the man at 140. Now he's moving up to the 147. He wants the king at 147. Teofimo Lopez goes after kings. Teofimo Lopez goes after pound for pound. You think you pound for pound, Teofimo Lopez is coming after you. That's Teofimo Lopez. That's what we know about Teofimo. I don't know about these other young fighters and stuff like that. All we know that Teofimo Lopez is the risk taker, the commander-in-chief, the leader of this new school, the one that sets the tone. The one that sets the tone. That I got confidence he go inside that ring versus Bud Crawford and do what he need to do. Y'all bringing this little Tank versus Bud and then Bud versus Canelo. What the fuck y'all bringing to the table? Leonardo? What's all this? Bud versus Canelo and then Bud versus Tank. If you want money, tell him to drop the belts. If that's what he want, drop the belts. Bud, drop all the belts. If that's what you want money, you want money? He said, JD, Punch must be real drunk tonight. I know. Y'all thought I was, look. Hey, yo, JD, they thought I was drunk when I said that Teofimo Lopez was going to outbox Lomachenko. They thought I was drunk and because I said that Teofimo Lopez going to beat the skirt worried Josh Taylor, and most of y'all was, he got mental illness and he's not going to do anything. Matter of fact, he should not be fighting. Teofimo Lopez is done. Teofimo Lopez is done. Yeah. I'm drunk. Matter of fact, when I'm drunk, I speak the truth then. Just say that y'all living in the moment. Keep it real. Say that y'all living in La La Land. Say that y'all living in the clouds. That the way that Bud Crawford performed versus Errol Spence makes y'all see Bud Crawford not losing to nobody. You can't see it. Y'all can't envision it. Bud Crawford is the second coming of Jesus Christ. He's walking on water, and Peter witnessed it. Say the truth, y'all. I get it. Trust me. I've been there before. I've been there, y'all. At least I could admit that I've been in La La Land. I could admit it. I could admit that when Canelo Alvarez beat Caleb Plant and he was on the run, and I said that Canelo Alvarez is on that Michael Jordan mode. Remember how many times did I say it? How many times did I say King Nelo, aka Cartelo, aka Cash Nelo, aka Payday, aka get the fuck out of here, man? How many times did I tell you that Canelo Alvarez was in the Michael Jordan mode, the Black Mamba mode in the fourth quarter? He loses to nobody. Oh my God. If he beats Bavon, Baturbia, if he should go, he could go out there and fight Usyk. I lived in La La Land before. Keep it real. You are living in La La Land because Bud Crawford and his performance, not the victory, his performance versus Errol the True Spence got you thinking like, oh my God, a fight with him and Teo? Hell no. Hell no. Any fight in between that. That's why y'all running with Bud and Canelo, because y'all feel like Bud will beat everybody at 154. He'll beat Charlo. He'll go to 160. He beats Jamal Charlo. He'll beat a Triple G. He go to 140, 168. If y'all thinking he could beat Canelo Alvarez, then maybe y'all saying he could beat Demise Andre, David Benavidez, and everybody in 168. Y'all living in La La Land. I am giving y'all a realistic fight. I am giving y'all 140, the lineal champion of 140, fighting the lineal champion, undisputed champion at the welterweight division. One division up. Bud Crawford came with 135, 140, 147. Teofimo Lopez, 135, 140. And y'all looking at me like I'm stupid. Y'all looking at me like I am stupid. No, y'all the stupid one, the one that don't like this fight. Y'all living in La La Land if you think that this fight is bad. This is what boxing is historically. If a fighter is one division up and the guy moves one division up, 140, 147, that's the most realistic thing. The best fighting the best. Just like we felt that Bud Crawford would go to the 147 when he was in 140 to face Keith Thurman and face Errol Spence. We didn't say that Bud Crawford should be fighting any other guys at 147 but Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Help me out, folks. Help me out. So me in the building was good, said Priest Punch Teal versus Bud would be better fight than Spence. That's what I'm talking about. Samir, tell him. Everybody, y'all in the same community. When Bud Crawford was the man at 140, him moving up to 147, we only mentioned two names, Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. So why now the man at 140, I am mentioning the man at 147, Bud Crawford, and y'all think I'm fucking an idiot. I'm drunk now. I'm drunk. But y'all wasn't drunk when y'all was mentioning Bud Crawford or Errol Spence? When Bud Crawford was at 140 and he called out Thurman and Errol Spence, was that crazy? No, because y'all shamed Keith Thurman and y'all shamed Errol Spence for not fighting Bud Crawford right away when he got to 147. Right away. Right away. That's why I keep on saying, yo, Bud Crawford been wanting to fight for the longest, and Errol Spence and PBC, they shade away Bud Crawford for 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. Hold on. What year are we? 2023. Okay. 2023. 2023. Okay. 2023. Terence Bud Crawford. Julio's Ondango. Look at that. Terence Bud Crawford was calling out Keith Thurman and Errol Spence 2017, 2000, leading up to 2018 with Jeff Horn, you guys, most of you guys were shaming the PBC for ducking Bud Crawford. For what? How many years? Y'all saying we're in 2023. Y'all saying that Bud Crawford should have been fighting Errol Spence for 5 years. But that was a legitimate fight. When Bud Crawford went to First Take before fighting Jeff Horn, and First Take, even though they don't know too much about boxing, but Max Kellerman know. And Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith asked Terence Bud Crawford, who is his legacy fight? And Terence Bud Crawford said, Keith Thurman. They said, no, it's Errol Spence. This is before the Jeff Horn fight. I did a whole video about it. And a matter of fact, that was the most viewed video I think I've ever had. And ESPN they sent a strike. I had almost 600K in that video. That was when Keith Thurman, I did a video when Keith Thurman, when Bud Crawford and Errol Spence said that their legacy fight is Keith Thurman. It was a Keith Thurman video. So Bud Crawford, before being at welterweight, the best fight at welterweight was already Bud, Thurman, or Bud and Spence. But Teo versus Bud Crawford is crazy, and I'm drunk. See, the thing is, people don't keep the same energy. I think that I don't know what COVID did. I don't know, maybe because that's the middle of COVID. So I don't know where maybe the vaccine, did something to y'all brains, but y'all forget. That's what it is. Y'all forget. Y'all living in let's be honest. Some of y'all are living in La La Land. Y'all living in La La Land. Yeah, because of the performance. And it's all good. It was an epic performance. Matter of fact, because of the magnitude of Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, that performance is one of the best in history. Because of the magnitude of the fight. Because the magnitude of the fight, that's one of the best performances, one of the best wins in the history of the sport of boxing. Because of the magnitude of the fight. But because of that performance, y'all think that Bud Crawford is invincible. So a realistic fight of Teo and Bud for y'all is like, nah, man. No. Y'all even skipping the middleweight. Y'all think that he could go all the way to 168 and fight Canelo Alvarez. That's how much of in the clouds people are in. Leonardo Rodriguez, dímelo, mi hermano, say, I like Teo, but talk is cheap. If he wants to smoke, activate the super belt, Mando, enough talking. Walk the walk. Facts. Teo, if we're going to say the same thing, if you want to fight, yeah, Teo, then Teo have to activate, send a petition to fight Bud Crawford. Yeah, same thing. Good looking out, 5 pesos de lo mío. Gracias, mi hermano. Leonardo Rodriguez con los 5 pesos de Super Chari Parikay. Could do that too. Teofimo Lopez versus Gabriel Matias for WBO IBF Super. That would be a good fight, but Matias is going to be fighting already. Crawford is running to 154. He knows Teofimo Lopez is coming. Yeah, he knows. He knows Teo's coming. Pause. It's realistic. It was realistic. It's the same shit with Bud Crawford when he was at 140 and calling out the 147 pounders. So Leonardo Rodriguez. So it is true. So that means Bud Crawford didn't want Errol Spence and Thurman back then because they never filed the petition, right? I'll put it you like this. Charles Edward Cheese said, I'll put it you like this. If Teo did and got the dub, he'd be the single GOAT. I think so. If Teofimo Lopez beat Bud Crawford, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's above Muhammad Ali. He's above everyone. I agree, Charles Edward Cheese. If Teofimo Lopez beat Bud Crawford, he will be the GOAT. I don't give a damn what anybody say. He'll be the GOAT. The GOAT, I say. The GOAT. It won't be Manny Pacquiao, the 8th Division World Champion, 5-time lineal, 12-time World Champion, the ambassador, the senator, the humanitarian, the greatest karaoke singer of them all. The GOAT, Manny Pacquiao. It won't be Manny Pacquiao. It won't be the 3-time lineal heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali. It won't be the 7th Division World Champion, Hagler. It won't be the 6th Division World Champion in Oscar. It won't be the 5th Division World Champion in Mayweather. It won't be the 4th Division of Roy Jones Jr. It won't be Julio Cesar Chavez. It won't be Roberto Duran. It will be Teofimo Lopez. Bud afraid of Teo. You got tripping. No, he's. I'm not saying nobody's afraid, but I'm just saying for the people that's saying that's not a realistic fight, they hating. That is a realistic fight. Teo versus Bud is realistic. Teo versus Bud is the type of fight like back in the days. Am I right or wrong? Right? MAW, isn't Teofimo Lopez versus Bud Crawford like we're going like back in the days, the golden era of boxing, right? Right? The best fight in the best, right? Isn't Teo that right? Isn't Teo versus Bud like Hagler versus Hearn, right? I want somebody to say no. I debate that. I want to know who said it's not a good fight. It's levels. Teo good, but chill with all that. Alaska Rambo said it's levels. Teo good, but chill with all that. What do you mean, Alaska? That the lineal champion at 135, just like Bud, is the lineal champion at 135. The lineal champion at 140 is Teofimo Lopez, just like Bud was. And now Bud is the lineal champion at welterweight division. So where's the crazy and the level talk? I know when Bud was the lineal at 140 and he was talking to fight Errol Spence, nobody was saying that Bud was crazy. And looking at the resume, leading up to him calling out Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, I don't look at his resume and be like, oh my God, he's a world beater. Teo versus Bud is realistic, but Bud got options. Saying he's scared is assumption. Teo is good, realistic, but Bud, everybody got options. Teo got options. He got Jose Ramirez. He got Arnold Barbosa. He could have a Devin Haney. He could have a Ryan Garcia. Yeah, he got a lot of options. Just like Bud got a lot of options. That's when you're the top dog, you got a lot of options. But what's the best option? What's the legacy options? Somebody gonna have more legacy than another one. Nobody, people don't have equal legacies. Whatever champion Teo is, all props to him. I love the guy, but he will get stopped by Bud. So Alaska, you don't want to see the fight because you're already saying that he's gonna get stopped. So let's go to another fight. We need to stop writing. We need to stop writing our story. Let them write the story for us, and then we let them write their story. The story is what happens in the ring, and then we talk about that. We can't say, well, I think Teo's gonna get knocked out, so I don't know about that fight. Imagine if everybody thinks like that. You know what? He's gonna lose. You know what? Let's not even put that fight up. We don't know what's gonna happen. Do you know how many people were shocked the way that Bud beat Spence? Not that Bud beat Spence, is how he beat him. Do you know how many people were shocked? People was more shocked. Even Bud Crawford fans were shocked. They were shocked. Fighters were shocked of how he beat. So we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. This is why we watch boxing. This is why we watch the Super Bowl. We don't know. That's why we look. The best events are events that we don't know. Just like the NCAA tournament, we can know that these big D1s are good. But what about that? When that small D1 comes out of nowhere and ends up in the Final Four, that's the beauty of it. See, we don't know who's gonna win the Final Four. We don't know who's going to win in college basketball. We don't know who's going to win in college football. We really don't know who's going to win the Super Bowl. And we really don't know who's going to win best of the best matchups. We didn't know who's really going to win Triple G or Canelo. We really didn't know who's going to win. We have a predictions. There's other fighters that have their momentums, but this is the type of fight that have grown boxing to what it was and was supposed to be, and why we love the sport. Most of the people love the golden era. And the guys in the golden era, all these guys was not campaigning in the same division, but it was still the golden era. Durant was a lightweight. Leonard was a welterweight. Hearns was a super welterweight. Hagler was a middleweight. And when we talk about the four kings, we talk about them. The four kings, Hagler, Hearns, Durant, and Leonard, was all really in different divisions. So if we say, well, you know what? Roberto Durán is really a smaller guy than Leonard, it wouldn't be a good fight. And you know what? He lost to De Jesus. Leonard is too fast, too much for Durán. We're never going to see the best victory of Durán's career. If we would say that, no, Leonard coming out after 3 years layoff to fight Hagler, no, that's career suicide. You're only doing it for the money. You're not gonna win. 3-year layoff to fight Hagler. What? And you're really a natural welterweight. You have no chance to fight Hagler. And what did Leonard do? He beat Hagler. Everybody talks about, look, I'm going to say it like this. Everybody talks about the fight with Hearn and Hagler. Everybody talks about that fight. How long did Hearn and Hagler end it? What round did it end? But everybody talks about, everybody look at the first round. Everybody talked about Hearns and Hagler. Nobody devalue that fight or them. How long did that fight last? How long did Hearn and Hagler last? But nobody talks about how long it lasted. 3, exactly 3. Nobody talked about how long it lasted. When people just say the four kings, and everybody fought each other. The same shit. And you know what? The best one round ever. The best first round ever. They love the round. That's the best round in boxing history, right? The first round. They still respect Hearns and they still respect Hagler just as equally, or probably even more Hearns, because he's a 7-division world champion. We respect Durán, and people have Durán over these guys because the way that he dared to be great, regardless if he won and lost, because he lost to the Hearns, he lost to all these guys, but he was the one that was actually risking it coming from 135. He was risking it. So if we have the respect of all these guys, and we always hold the golden era as the standard era of boxing, why are we talking like Teofimo Lopez and Bud Crawford is just not a good fight? How can we say that and still talk about how great and how we want boxing today to be like the golden era? But there's people out here that don't want to see Teo and Crawford. They think it's too much. And he'll get knocked out. It's too much. If we think like that today, then the golden era would never have been a golden era, and boxing would not be where boxing is today. So let's stop putting a what you call it, like a ceiling. Why all of a sudden we putting ceilings? Now people ask for Bud and Canelo. See, that's unrealistic. That's highly unnatural, because how many times have we seen somebody move up 3 weight classes? How many times we seen a person at 1 weight class move up 3 weight class to fight the best? And I'm not talking about the heavyweights. I'm not talking about heavyweight. Heavyweight, you could be 200 and your opponent could be 275. I'm talking about the weight class before heavyweight. Who jumped up 3 weight class? So that's right there. That's unrealistic. Teo versus Bud is realistic. Is what we praise for. And now because it's Teo, hot take, Crawford is better than all these guys. He never fought all those guys, so you don't even know if he's better than all those guys. It's easy to say that. It's easy to say Crawford is better than all those guys. Look at their resume and look at Brooke Crawford's resume. Moonshine, he challenging greatness. That's what I'm talking about. And if he fails or if he wins, he don't get devalued or disrespected just like Roberto Duran. I understand that Bud will be challenging greatness. I just feel like the Teo versus Bud is way more realistic than Bud versus Canelo. As much as people like to say they pay, for me that's also that's you getting the bag. We don't know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do versus Charlo. I respect that, Charles. He's spitting facts punch, but likewise, Bud knows that he wants to separate himself. And to be honest, in this era, he has separated himself. Him has separated himself. Inoue separated him. They're doing it with Inoue as well. Even I didn't agree with Inoue versus Tank because I know what it was. They just want to see Inoue in a very disadvantaged place, and they saying, "Oh, Inoue versus Tank." Come on, he just moved up from 118 to fight Stephen Fulton. He beat Stephen Fulton. There's good fights in between. There's a good fight with how about they say Inoue versus Navarrete before they say Inoue versus Tank? How about Inoue versus Gary Russell Jr. before they say Tank? How about Inoue versus Robeisy Ramirez before they say a Tank? He said Bud and Canelo are the exact same height. How is not realistic? Okay. All right. Okay. So now you're really going by that. That's not realistic. It's not realistic. Mike Tyson is 5'10. Mike Tyson versus Boots Ennis. How about that? You want to see that? Because they're the same height, so that's realistic. Right, Mr. Mong? Mike Tyson in his prime versus Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis is what, 5'10? Mike Tyson 5'10. Yeah, Boots Ennis versus prime Mike Tyson versus Boots Ennis. Let's go. What do you think is gonna happen? Or they're the same height. How about let's go Fundura versus Deontay Wilder. Fundura versus Deontay Wilder. They're the same height, 6'6". Can you imagine? Yo, Deontay Wilder lo zumba de ahí, out of the arena. Con un right hand. Fundura is 6'6", Wilder is 6'6", 6'6", 6'7". Let's make that matchup. No. They're the same weight. That's the realistic height. No. Fundura got power. Deontay Wilder got power. Vamos a ponerlo a ese tigre en el ring a ver lo que pasa con Fundura. No, de verdad, I think that Deontay Wilder will throw a straight right to his chest, and you're gonna see this is the back of Fundura, and this is how you're gonna see this is the spine, this is the back of Fundura, and this Deontay Wilder's right hand. This is Fundura. Oh, man. Come on, man. Come on with the casuals talk. If they're the same height, that's realistic. Diablo. Y me dicen a mí that I'm drunky to me. They say that I ain't drunk. They say that I'm drunk. Look, boxing weight, the boxing weight is different than walk around weight. Height is nothing about Canelo Alvarez been in 168 for quite some time. He's filled up his body. His training regimen is geared to fight at 168. That's why sometimes you build to one. They let these fighters sometimes build to 168. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe Triple G is the same height as Kell Brook, maybe or almost or whatever and stuff like that. But you need time. It takes look. It trains to build your muscle and then to know how to cut weight and still be healthy. Your muscle is not gonna so it can have stamina and whatever. Just because they're the same height and just because they could walk around the same weight don't mean that when it's time to get your body prepared for 168, Canelo Alvarez body is already a 168 type body for 168. Terence Crawford built his body for 147, coming from the 135, 140, and Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez has grown into their division respectfully, giving them. This is why why you think Bud Crawford's body is looking very strong at welterweight. He's been there for a while. The same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, he built his body and stood at welterweight 144. He built his body to be strong there while he's fighting these guys that's already not supposed to be there. See, Errol Spence is not supposed to be at welterweight no more. Errol Spence has been at welterweight at 152 since the amateur, since 14, 15 years old as a teenager. Now think about it. Think about your body at 15 years old. Maintain that weight at 15. Maintain that weight, that body structure, the muscle structure, everything. Maintain that weight. It's hard. See, Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, these guys that's been in since teens, in that they're not supposed to be in that weight anymore. Bud Crawford was smaller. Bud Crawford came with the Danny Garcia. Why do you think Danny Garcia could take a punch too? Danny Garcia, he still got pop at 147. Now he's going to 154. Guys like Thurman and Spence, they're already like drained. They're draining themselves already. They're not supposed to be at welterweight no more. Especially Spence. I've seen Spence in person. He walks around at 180 plus. I don't know what type of training regimen he does to put himself at 147. I seen him in Brooklyn outside Barclays Center. I don't know how Errol Spence shrinks to 147. He does what he does. I don't know, but he's not supposed to be at 147. Everybody in the boxing industry knows that Errol Spence is not supposed to be at 147 no more. So Bud Crawford has built his strength at 147 while these guys are trying to stay in a weight that they're not supposed to be in. Leonardo Rodriguez con los 10 pesos said, my 3 biggest hype jobs in boxing: Errol Spence, Tank, and Boots. So far, 1 car has been pulled. Now, hype job don't mean they aren't good, just not as good as their fans say they are. Or so I don't think that Errol Spence is a hype job. I don't think that Errol Spence is a hype job, and I don't think that Boots Ennis is a hype job. I don't think that none of these guys are hype jobs. I think they're moved in a certain. Errol Spence, he proved himself. Errol Spence proved himself. He beat Kell Brook when Kell Brook. Let's not forget that Kell Brook was in talks after Manny Pacquiao versus. Remember, Kell Brook beat a Sean Porter. Kell Brook became a champion the proper and respectable way in the sport of boxing. Kell Brook was in talks of being probably the next guy after Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Remember, they mentioned 3 names. They mentioned Keith Thurman, Daniel Garcia, and Kell Brook. So Errol Spence beating Kell Brook, that was a legitimate win. Beating Sean Porter, legitimate. Beating Ugas, legitimate. Even having a Lamont Peterson under your belt is good. Beating Danny Garcia after the accident is good. No, he is not a hype job, Leonardo. No, he's not a hype job. Maybe you might not like the way his fans hype him in this community, and maybe your frustration with Errol the True Spence is his fans, but Errol Spence is not a hype job, bro. He's not a hype job. Tank, you could see he has the skills and talent. I think his business handlers are making him look weak, not giving him those type of resume, the type of resume that his skill set entails. He has 200, almost 250 amateur bouts. If you're in the East Coast, you know Tank. He's an extraordinary talent. He's a special talent. He just haven't got the opportunity because of his team to put him in there to actually, so we could see how special he really is. I think he got his special attributes, but he hasn't had the opportunity, in my opinion, because his business handlers are too scared. They want to protect their investment and milk Gervonta Tank Davis. Boots, I think he's a special talent as well. I don't think he's a hype job. I think he hasn't had his chance yet. Let them get into those type of position and them fights for them to call it as a hype job. I don't think none of these guys are hype job, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Tank is a hype. I don't think none of these guys are hype job. You know who was a hype job to me? When people was trying to hype Montana Love, I never thought Montana Love was anything, to be honest. I think that was a little hype job. Who was a hype job? I used to think that Fundora was gonna get got. His style, he never fought to his height. You know what I'm saying? I think Fundora was a little bit of hype job, in my opinion. For now, yeah, I don't. Chris Colbert was a hype job. Leonardo Rodriguez con los 5 pesos dice, nah, Errol Spence been a weight bully. Use his size to observe smaller fighter shots to give his simple style pressure, flat-footed. That's it. Your opinion, my brother. Your opinion. I just don't think that he's a hype job. I don't think not everybody's gonna live to this Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Julio Cesar Chavez. You know, it's we can name them. We can name them. What is your well, first you got to ask yourself, what is your ceiling from this particular fighter? What do you expect? What did you expect from Errol Spence that you feel like is a hype? Because I never had a discussion of Errol Spence's like Oscar de la Hoya. Errol Spence is better than Sugar Ray. Errol Spence, I don't think those discussions, I don't think that Errol Spence was given the credit as one of the best fighters. I think he was always given the good credit of he's the best welterweight, and that's fair. Errol Spence was never number 1 pound for pound, number 2 pound for pound, number 3 pound for pound. So I think they ranked them fairly. Now, whether you want to put them a little down or something, but I don't think that Errol Spence got out of the best welterweight into the best fighter in boxing conversation. Lomachenko was in that conversation. But Crawford in that conversation. Canelo on that conversation. But I don't think he ever got out of that conversation on one of the best fighter. I think he still was just the best in the conversation of welterweights. He's flat-footed though. I'll give you that. I always said that. Samir said Teofimo Lopez a hype job, question mark. Yeah, okay. By 25-year-old, he became champ in only 15 fights, beats number 1 pound for pound in 16 fights, then beat the best 148, 7-time world champion, 2 division lineal. Tell him, Samir. Yo, those people that saying that Teofimo Lopez is a hype job, he's just busy wet willing his butthole right now. That's what he's doing. He's wet willing his butthole, looking at this, looking at the live. The guy that said that Teofimo Lopez is a hype job. You know nothing about no boxing. He went to xnxx.com and thought he was gonna watch something, and we talking boxing out here. Go watch xnxx.com. Do something with your life. The most recent hype job, Lomachenko. Lomachenko. If we say Lomachenko is a hype job, then we're taking away from wins. I didn't think that Lomachenko was going to do his thing after Salido like that. I didn't think that he was this Lomachenko guy that people was talking about. But when he beat one of my favorite fighters at that time, Gary Russell Jr., I was actually shocked. To be honest, I was actually shocked the way that he neutralized the speed of Gary Russell Jr. Because at that time, if y'all remember Gary Russell Jr., I just never seen 12, 15 punch combinations like that by a fighter. I used to say that Gary Russell Jr.'s speed is like Roy Jones Jr. and Sugar Ray Leonard. Gary Russell hand speed, but the problem with Gary Russell Jr. is also the problem of his brother, Gary Antoine Russell. They throw everything at the same speed. Everything got to be fast. Everything got to be fast. That a smart fighter like a Lomachenko, that quick, if you throw enough fastballs, they're going to see it. They're going to see it. And when he beat Gary Russell Jr. the way that he beat him, I said Lomachenko. Then I said Lomachenko is the truth. But before that, I'm like, come on, this Lomachenko, man. Yeah, you could be good in the amateurs, but they ain't going to transition to the professionals. Yeah, they did erase his losses. I remember that. People saying that Teo a high job are the same people that D-right Tank when Tank hasn't done shit at the age of 29. Facts. Lomachenko made several boxers quit on their stool. Facts. Nicholas, he made him quit. Rigging down, he made him quit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he made him quit on their stool. Yeah, Lomachenko's a real deal. Shakur versus Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz and his team didn't want the fight. Remember, I interviewed Sean Gibbons. They said they don't want the fight. They said that Shakur Stevenson brings nothing to the table. Renee, T.O.'s coming back for the right bag. Shakur say desperate for a fight. What up with it? I think Teofimo Lopez, I think he's gonna get his bag. I think if he had a meeting with Bob Arum several weeks ago, I think they're on the same, they're on the same page. They understand that Teofimo Lopez deserved to be respected financially, promotional wise, and stuff like that. I think that was I think the promotion was a slap in the face. The Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez was a slap in the face the way they promoted that fight. Should have been in the big room. Should have given the opportunity to. They didn't promote. It just should have. It should have been bigger than what it was, in my opinion. But I think now they actually understand what they got in their hands, and they got something special. And now they got to promote this. They got to do right by him. I hope they do. Tyson is overrated because people say he's the greatest boxer of all time for being a grandpa Klitschko and one trick pony Wilder. But, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know. Is that time? Tomorrow we can chop it up. Tomorrow is Friday. We go a little bit later on a Friday. This is a good there was a good convo. I hope that, you know what I'm saying, people really think about this fight, this potential fight, Teofimo Lopez, Bud Crawford, Teo and other matchups, you know, like Bud Crawford versus Jamel Charlo. I don't know if Jamel Charlo going to come back down to the 154. That's asking too much. Good looking out, Charles at the Cheese. I appreciate you, my brother. You already know me. Hermano, de lo mío. Charles de the Trees. Queso. De lo mío, ya tú sabes. But yeah, man. I think there's a lot of great potential fights at 2023. I think people shouldn't go to fantasy fights when we already got a lot of great fights in our hands. At 140, you can mix and match. If these guys don't come prepared, the number one could get got from the number 14. Again, the 140-pound division is a landmine, man. Anybody can get got if you don't come prepared. The welterweight division is kind of looking slim, and I think that is actually a little weak enough for the people in 140 to tamper with the 147-pound division, like, you know, Teo, Josh Taylor moving up. Okay, we don't know if Conor Benn is going to stay in 147. Maybe he's waited so much time. Maybe he goes to 154. 154 is an incredible division, in my opinion, that anybody could get got as well. Carrie said Teo got made. that racial slur and then said he was retiring. But the 160 is a sleeper. I think the 160 is one of the most dead division, and it had good champions to unify the titles, but you know, I don't know what's happening with the middleweight division. I think that's another division where the guys at 154, they should capitalize being at middleweight and get these type of fights. I think Janibek is a hype job. I think Janibek he's gonna get got sooner or later. Being in the middleweight division, they're gonna protect his ass, but he's a hype job to me. But the 168 is good. Let's see. Let's lock down this David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andre. Let's see what we got, man. So tomorrow we back at it, 9 p.m., 9:30, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.